Big up, Mr. Chef Rosenberg. I am here. Who else am I here with?
Here with Ulrich, finally.
Daniel B.
Daniel B. Why are you sitting down, Daniel? We're gonna have to move the whole tripod now to sit down. We're gonna have to rough it today.
Oh, I gotta make sure you know I look good.
All right, a lot. How's your week been, Daniel B?
My week has been amazing, man. I woke up this morning.
Wait, you mean you woke up the last 7 days?
Exactly. But today,
This morning.
you know, it's just you.
So you waking up just the day is good.
yeah, every day. It's
Wait. Because of you waking up, it's
Yes.
when that's what makes it good.
That makes it amazing, great, spectacular.
Oh, do you concur with that kind of talk? The sentiments of just the fact of waking up, you're good. Does that make sense to you? Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, I feel fortunate that, I woke up, rather than...
But are you cognizant of the idea that this is a great day because I woke up?
Not that it's a great day because I woke up, because it's just that I'm grateful for waking up. I'm grateful that, I get to do it again, over and over.
And you think about stuff like that.
I haven't reached. I mean, when you start to I've been getting more like biblical and more spiritual, and now because I'm doing the prayer in the morning, so now it kind of makes you feel.
Wait, you're doing prayer in the morning? What about at night?
Nah, I just do it when I wake up.
Okay.
And when you do a prayer,
The first
are
thing
you?
I wake up.
Can you describe what is it that
I do the Our Father thing.
Our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Yeah,
Thy kingdom
because that's the
come,
one
thy
I
will be
never
done
forgot. I don't know.
on earth as it is in
That's
heaven.
one
Give
I
us
never-
today our daily
Bread,
bread.
and forgive us our trespasses,
trespasses.
and we forgive those who trespass against us.
And you don't feel this is a monotonous prayer? Because look, I almost turned it into a hit record.
No, it has nothing to do with being monotonous. It has to do with just that also makes you cognizant and connected and waking up and saying, okay, I'm connected to God. I'm lucky enough that I'm remembering this opportunity every day, so I don't wake up every morning and thinking, what's the point? There's something good about having something, I guess, habitual when you.
Right.
Ritual,
It's that routine that you like.
No, it's not that, but it does. Yeah, maybe the routine makes you comfortable. Maybe it's simply the routine. It's possible, but I'm gonna connect it to my spiritual endeavors.
Daniel B. Wait, let me go back to art real quick. So
Okay.
you're waking up to this prayer.
Yes.
What about when you go to sleep?
Not when I go to sleep, because I go to sleep like different things. Sometimes I just fall asleep or I pass out or something like that. A lot of
Right.
times, since it's so hard for me to fall asleep, I know the last thing I know for a fact I can make it. I can make it so the first thing I do when I wake up is wake up and pray to an extent.
It's
But I
easier
can't
to wake up to it opposed to going to sleep because you have no.
because I don't know when I'm gonna
regimen.
fall asleep.
You don't have no
Yeah,
schedule on
exactly.
that, right?
Yeah. Even though, and sometimes I have to listen to things just to get me really tired. So.
And Daniel B, what about you? Are you praying day, night? What's going on?
Praying
with that?
day, night, before every meal,
Before you go to bed,
before I go to bed.
what does that look like?
Just it's not a ritual prayer. It's kind of something of just what the day is and just thanking God for, and just asking for certain things in the evening. It's putting my what I try to do is every night put myself in a mind frame of His blessings and the blessings that I have. Because from what I've heard, it actually resonates in your dreams. Whatever that's why I don't do TV an hour before I go to bed. No digital, nothing, everything else.
So you're not playing video games until you
No.
pass out.
Not playing video games, not on social media, and I'm not even doing social media an hour when I wake up. Before I was really in the habit of jumping on media.
Right, yeah.
Like
yeah,
first
right.
thing, but that actually I realized that's the process of your body and mind getting ready for the day from what you just had. And sometimes you get something negative, and I don't want that. So what I do
You mean
is
sometimes? Every
Yeah.
after the third scroll is something horrible.
exactly. So what I do is I just read a Bible verse. I kind of read 3 verses, and I've been doing 3 verses of the Bible. I'm still on Genesis.
So these YouTube streets are undefeated. We are in your penthouse. So how long from right now would it take for you to reach for that Bible that you say you
It's
get?
on my phone.
Oh, the Bible on your phone.
Yeah.
Right.
I do that because I could actually make notes and stuff like that.
Okay. So that's interesting. As for me, I don't do any of that. I have no prayers in the daytime. No prayers at night. I don't wake up and pray. I stopped waking up to the stock market because I wake up at 10 o'clock in the afternoon. Most people are up and their day's already started. My day doesn't start until like 10 o'clock, and then it'd be nice if I could get up out of the bed within that 15-minute mark. That's one of my goals, so to speak. Things I would like to do is like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, I'm up, because my alarm clock still goes off at 10 o'clock. And it's not actually even my phone, it's my other phone that I have, that my daughter loves to use. So it always goes off, and I always hear it. And that's what I'm supposed to be like, I'm, coming out of that in 15 minutes getting up. That's like a regimen that in my mind, for my lifestyle, appears to be productive. I get that done on 3-4 days in a row, then I'm like feeling like my week is going great. But I don't add and include any, I'm not a believer. I don't believe in witches and warlocks and goblins, and I don't believe in, the tooth fairy and
not conflate those two things.
I don't believe, I don't believe in the boogeyman and all that kind of, the chupacabra and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a believer. So, I don't include that in my life, but I do appreciate others that do. Even though I would recommend not to do the Our Father prayer, to do the silent prayer. Have you heard of the silent prayer? It's been coined by the guy I introduced you to him years ago, Jesse Lee Peterson.
I know Jesse Peterson.
Jesse Lee Peterson has this silent prayer, and basically it's like a form of meditation, where like what you did, where you reflecting on the day. Like my dad is really good for that. My father Victor, who you've met, he's really into reflecting on the day and breaking it down in his mind as he falls asleep.
The reason there's an issue with that is you reflect on yourself constantly, and you're going to reflect how you interact with the constantly. So you're just going to be centered on yourself when you're going to sleep, and you're just gonna segment that and thinking you're doing something else productive. The thing about when prayer and something like that, you think something outside of yourself and past yourself. So it kind of removing for yourself in order to, you can only see yourself if you remove yourself from yourself. Does that make sense?
You can only see yourself if you remove yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why. So you don't see yourself from this perspective. Because if I just look at my day and something like that, I'm just.
Well, I would just kind of like giving like a layman's reference to the silent prayer, and just trying to refer to what my dad has done and what Daniel said. But with the silent prayer that Jesse Lee Peterson has coined, I've actually done. I don't consider it a prayer. I consider it different. And what the silent prayer is that you blank your mind and you concentrate on your breathing, almost as if you were meditating, so to speak. And when people meditate, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as they breathe up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as they inhale. But it's all in the mind. You're counting in the mind, and that's part of like a meditation routine. Jesse Lee Peterson, there is no words, no counting. It's just the breathing and just the relaxing and truly being in that moment of where you are totally relaxed and you can center yourself in a way where he believes it's the true and the only prayer we should be doing is the silent prayer.
No, he's trying to reach nirvana. I'm not trying to be. He's trying to look like a Buddhist mind. He's trying to find the peace.
Clearing your mind
and centering himself.
Right.
I'm in my mind. I'll reach nirvana when I'm off, when I'm out of this earth. I don't expect to be feeling perfect on earth.
Right.
I feel feeling pain
and even make a roll of this. This is maybe a little too.
Yeah.
I
figured just left side is done as long as just bring it up. That's up. It should be.
It's at 69. I'm gonna put it on 72.
Yeah, by all means.
All right.
So,
any thoughts on what we're talking about, guys?
Mine is a little different. Prayer is I separate prayer from my meditation. And I take my medication a little different. Meditation. A little different.
Freudian.
I know, yeah. So as you can tell, I got my meditation mats. I got my whole thing. Yes, I'm a big Freudian though. And I just sit there and I meditate. If I need instruction, I got the.
Wait a minute, you have a meditation area in your home?
Yeah, right there. It's on meditation mats. Two.
Oh, I tripped on that earlier.
Oh, yeah. It's a cushion, and I got 2 cushions. I got a small one that I take.
Do you cross your legs?
Sometimes it depends.
Do
Sometimes
you ever lay on your stomach with your feet up?
no. But I am getting the Walden meditation mat, which is where you lay down and you kind of meditate that way.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what happens with me if you guys were interested?
Hit me.
One of the reasons why I don't pray and I don't do the meditating anymore is because when I go to sleep, I go into alternate dimensions of my realities. They seem very, very real, extremely real. Like you and I, in the latest one, finally opened up the restaurant that we've been trying to open for years, Daniel B and I. And it's very realistic, and it takes place on our timeline. There is no distinction of past or present. There's nothing really different. It appears, like the relationship that I have with my wife is a lot different than the relationship that I have in this reality. So when I do go to sleep, for the last 10 years, I have been going into alternate places where I am who I am, and I just live my day as an alternate self. So
Astral projection.
astral projection. It's all part of the multiverse in a world where there are multiple, infinite amount of us, an infinite amount of you, infinite amount of you, infinite amount of me. And I seem to be able to tap into these same 4 of me's. One of them I hate because in this alternate reality, I have to be very, very transparent with you guys because you can't lie on the mic, is that my wife is extremely promiscuous and I am extremely beta in this world. Where in this world, I dote over her and I pine over her.
This alternative world.
And it's an alternative world where we have the same amount of kids. They have the same names. I'm driving. Sometimes I drive different cars. I'm definitely not in what I'm driving now. They're much nicer than what I have in this reality. But and I actually have never even spoken to my wife about this alternate reality, where in this reality she is different, and she's very popular. In other words, and she is people are laughing, I'm sure.
Yeah, you sound like you dream of being an affluent cuck.
I'm not a cuck. I'm not a cuck in this because I'm not there when
You're
she's
saying your wife is
What's
promiscuous.
up?
Oh no, cuck, I mean cuck colloquially, not cuck. So cuck really is someone who enjoys watching their wife get banged out while they're watching it. Maybe they have some type of contraption on them that stops them from becoming fully erect.
Cold or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cockle, yeah.
Yeah,
Cock.
but I meant cuck colloquial in that just anybody who just knows that their wife's promiscuous and then is just fine with it. That's just the cuck colloquial.
Right.
Gotcha.
So this is a place that I hate going to, this alternate. And the problem with it is that I can wake up many times trying to fight the, whatever I'm dealing with. And the thing is that what's crazy is that I'm also very violent with her in this world. When she does come home from these kind of things, I do get a little upset and it gets violent. And whenever it gets violent, I wake up immediately. And then when I go to sleep, I fucking go right back into the space. But it's definitely helped me.
There's a lot to explore there, man. That's like
It's crazy. There's a lot to explore. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't understand that until I just seen the Spider-Man movie.
What?
It's all about the multiverse and all the rest of that. So now I kind of get you because I would have been lost.
Wait,
honestly.
explain. And you say, wait, did you just see the newest Spider-Man?
The newest
Because my
Spider-Man.
students were talking about. Did any way you want to explain some of the premise so then they could connect it if the viewers, maybe.
Well, it's just a similar thing. There's different Spider-Mans. There's Spider-Mans in. I don't want to give it away, but there's
Just don't ruin it. Just don't ruin what they ended.
We want you to ruin it. We want somebody to hit us on the comment section and throw the middle finger.
There's
if you're late in the movie, that's your problem.
meaning that there is
The movie's been out 3 weeks.
millions and millions
yes.
of Spider-Mans.
Millions? Infinite. Infinite amount, right?
As many universes as there are, there's a Spider-Man there.
Right. So in my reality, here's the thing. I only understand this concept in this here reality that I'm in right now. When I'm immersed in those alternate realities, I have no idea. Remember the story, and I hate to say this, but do you remember the story that I wrote because a lot of people don't know that I'm into writing science fiction, and I have all these science fiction stories in my head. A lot of the science fiction stories that are in my head are based on when I go into these alternate realities. It's just the reality of that space. So yes, it feels like if I write it down and I tell the story. Do you remember the story? I don't really want to get into it too much. It's a little too controversial. But remember the guy who had the dog, the service dog, and the service dog was anyway, I don't want to get into it. Anyway, there's a story that I wrote because of in this alternate reality, this is very commonplace. These certain lifestyles are super commonplace. So if I write about a commonplace lifestyle, I might appear to be extremely forward-thinking and open-minded and totally like abstract. But the truth is, I just woke up into this alternate reality where when you turn on the TV, all this stuff is a part of the television landscaping and the programming. So if I took that programming, wrote about it, and then pitched these stories, then anyway, I feel it feels weird talking about it without revealing all the stories and what they're about. But basically, I'm a bit of a sci-fi writer who's plagiarizing alternate realities that I keep tapping into when I go to sleep. If that makes any sense.
Somewhat.
Yeah. You know, like I've thought about exploring DMT, and I've thought about exploring psycho, acid and things like that.
You wanted to try that. You wanted us to try that together, and I wasn't down for it.
Well, I was saying that I wanted to open up a spot where people could come in and do DMT. And you were like, I'm not never doing nothing like that. I said, come on, if I had the DMT, we wouldn't sit around. So the way you said it was totally not the way it went down. Because I was just talking about, because I have that space that I wanted to turn into a ghost kitchen, and I was also thinking that we can get the DMT. DMT now is being released on vape.
Okay.
Daniel looks like he has something important he thought of.
No. Something side note, a little later we'll discuss. All right,
well,
but please remind me.
No. I'm not going to remind you. Write it down. Look, there's a pen right there. Write it down so you don't forget. So, or put it in your phone. So, the DMT is this crystallized form of, what is it? It's hard to get into, but if you're looking for DMT, all you have to do is Google DMT.
It's supposed to mirror what happens when you die, or right before you die, or something.
No. DMT, basically, according to people like Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan and all these people, that DMT actually allows you to tap into the reality of what we're in. It helps you tap into the space that we're in right now. We are possibly inside of a space, and the DMT allows us to separate ourselves and go into looking over us. And if you do really good DMT, they say you can almost talk to God.
Yeah, you can have a conversation. Really good acid, really good shrooms, really good.
Really good acid, you can talk to God. I've never heard that.
Yeah, if you do a lot of acid, like I've thought on an acid trip that I verified that I know for a fact that God is real based on my acid trip. But it wasn't that someone else spoke to me, another voice in it. But I remember exclaiming that constantly during an acid trip, that it's real. I'm telling you, man, God is real. Trying to explain that to me.
So you were like on this, like trying to wake people up after an acid trip about how real.
No. It was more so I was trying to explain to them what I felt like I understood, and that's an issue. That's the issue with a lot of these drugs. There's something that you already understand intuitively, like something that's natural. Like you understand that the end of life is inevitable. You understand if you don't do anything, you start to feel empty and you're not using yourself anymore. But sometimes, like when you do acid and you're doing nothing, you feel that more profoundly. Or sometimes when you do an acid and you're not around somebody that you enjoy, or when you're around somebody that you do enjoy, you feel like, wow, it's like a beacon of light that just came in.
Right.
Or this is the arbiter of death that just came. Like it just.
Sorry, go ahead.
But it can exaggerate your spirituality in the same way, and not that it exaggerates it. It's more so it just puts it. it makes a book into what can be a sentence. But usually people usually know the stuff within a sentence. But you make it into a book. I guess you feel like you understand it better. Some people understand it. I don't know what I'm saying.
Right. I've never done acid, and the mushrooms that I've done was interesting. Here's something interesting about the mushrooms because, allegedly, I've been known to sell mushrooms. I haven't sold them in maybe 7-8 years, but there was a time where I did. And we would do it with the chocolate though. I would get the mushroom, chop it up, melt the chocolate, the really good stuff too, the Lindt. I went to the mall and got this big bag of Lindt dark chocolate, and I would just get a double boiler and just get the molds, and it was amazing. But I started to eat each chocolate was a gram, and I would eat it, and let me tell you, it was so good that I stopped doing it. And then I was like, I'm gonna stop selling it because I don't want to get caught up in this. Mind you, if I can just do that with sugar and flour and bread, then my life would be amazing. But no, I choose to have self-control when it comes to doing drugs. But it felt like you eat the chocolate and then 30-40 minutes later you just felt like you had a shot of Jameson and your whole entire chest would just open up and you just get this euphoric feeling like, wow, everything is going to be okay. It was pretty amazing. And after like maybe 7 times, 8 times, 10 times of that, I started to think about it and say, I wonder if I should just do more than 1 gram. But I never took a chance. I always heard that 2.5 grams is where you want to go in order to get the true experience. But I never went further than 1 gram. So that was my thing. And as far as DMT, I've never done DMT neither. I was just making a joke about how if I had that spot open, I would like to have certain nights that it's allotted to DMT nights where, we'll provide because now they're making it in vape form, but you can take an electronic vape of DMT. And there's a part of me that wants to, you see, when I first, woke up, was in, let's say right around the election, 2016, 2015 is when I was like, oh my God, everything that we've been told is a lie. Oh my God, the Mandela effect is real. Oh my God, where are we and what is this that we're in? Oh my goodness. And I was like going hard. I used to have Daniel B come over to the house just so we could have like, just sit here and watch this. Don't say anything. It was like I was going too hard with that. Like now, knowing what I know now, you can't do that to people. Everybody takes yeah, people be like, this guy's crazy. And
No, I don't think it was that.
well, it was whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I was trying my best to say, look at the other options. Look what else could this be, opposed to what we're being told. And it was all about 9/11, the news, all that, stuff that went on in Connecticut at that school, all these kind of things. The thing that happened with the guy who had that issue in the church. He sat in the church for 45 minutes and then he aired the spot out. And then Obama was, getting on his, he started, working on his preaching skills. All that was happening around that time that I was like, wait a minute, this we're being played. So why did I say that? So that's what got me interested in wanting to understand DMT and maybe separate from this reality in a way where I can maybe I have some questions answered. I don't necessarily feel that way anymore. I don't necessarily want to have questions answered like that because first of all I have my kids. Do you guys ever see the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
Mm-hmm. I know of it.
It was directed by Steven Spielberg, and in the end of the movie, there's this spaceship that we were able to. When I say we, America was able to communicate with the spaceship, and they then had some sort of communication where we then asked volunteers to go up into space with this spaceship, and the star of the movie, he was online to go onto the spaceship. Mind you, the guy had 3 kids and a wife. I'm not going onto a spaceship and flying off to alternate realities or whatever the hell that spaceship was going and leaving behind my children. I'm not doing that for nothing. I'm in
Even
it.
in your mind, even just on a mental foray. Because
Dude, if a ship comes down and they say, "Yo, Big Elvis, you're gonna live forever and see the world," or your fat ass is gonna be here and raise these kids and be with your wife. I'm gonna be here with my wife and my kids, man. That's a fact. Even though this
No,
I'm
I'm
just,
talking about
you
the
know,
analogy between the closing curtains of the third kind and your mind going, the man leaving the spaceships. That was an analogy to something.
It wasn't an analogy. It was pointing out the fact that I do not want to necessarily know all the answers right now. I got kids. I can't do DMT and acid and find out what this is and talk with God. And like, what happened when I'm gonna come back and just be like, yo, I'm just gonna walk the earth now, y'all. I figured it out. Like, I don't want to be that guy. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense? What I'm saying?
I mean,
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, I'm totally opposite, but
Tell me what you mean by you're totally the opposite.
Well, I've never used a drug.
Right.
Tylenol, extra strength is as hard as I think I've ever went.
Right.
And I'm happy with the Zen state that I think, what was it? Who said it best? What is his name? He said it was a doctor on TV.
Best people do.
No, it wasn't Dr. Phil. What's the other guy? One of the Oprah doctors.
Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz. He
Oh,
said,
okay, guy.
he has nothing wrong, which I feel like there's nothing wrong with, using marijuana. And, I don't want to say anything else. It really kind of depends. But like marijuana, he said he met with these monks who were able to do it naturally. I feel like it's something that you could naturally, a state that you could naturally get on. Of that marijuana, Zen, or whatever that feeling is. I think you can do it
You give
naturally.
marijuana too much credit, man.
No, and that's what I'm saying. So my thing is, I feel like you can do that. Like I've never had the need to want to be more than where I'm going.
Than where you are.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you try different things. I'm doing affirmations as young lady.
But you just get your high in different ways than like
Yeah,
maybe smoking,
definitely.
like maybe
You know,
shopping.
I'm
You
glad
like shopping.
I'm glad you brought that up, Daniel B.
Mhm.
Because I would argue that the reason why Daniel B don't get high is because you bought into the system to some degree. When they told you that it was for dummies and losers and people that were slackers and people that were lazy, I think you bought into that. And you were proud to be the guy who didn't get high. But if we were to really break down marijuana and marijuana laws, it was one man, one asshole Swedish bastard, Henry J. Abernathy. You guys know about this man?
No.
See, that's the problem. If you would know about this man, Henry J. Abernathy, you go smoke a spliff. Because that son of a bitch, what he did to Billie Holiday, and what he did to the black man and the Mexican man.
Wait, first tell the viewers who he is first.
Wait, you talking
'Cause I
about
know this
Abernathy, who was the civil rights leader?
person. No, you're talking
No.
about that's Ralph Abernathy.
Exactly.
No.
That's what I'm
They
like.
No,
think
I'm
it's-
not
they
talking
seem like a
about
different
him.
person.
Yeah, that's the only
different
Abernathy.
person.
You said
I'm
Billie
talking
Holiday.
about the man
That's
who villainized marijuana and convinced the world that there was a guy who killed his mother and father and his brother and sister. I'm paraphrasing right now. And he lied to the world and said that was because that person smoked marijuana. They did blood tests on this person. He had not a drug in his system. He was out of his damn mind. And he convinced the world. And he then convinced politicians to sanction other countries like Thailand, who everybody in Thailand, like right now you go to Thailand, they're giving out marijuana plants to everybody around them. But America convinced Thailand and Indonesia and all these countries that if you want to do business with us, you have to pass heavy marijuana laws. Because we used to use marijuana to make rope. We used to use marijuana before cotton T-shirts. See, this is a cotton T-shirt. Before cotton T-shirts, it was hemp T-shirts, and then they got rid of the hemp because this one, maybe I'm saying the guy's name wrong. You guys know where I got my GED, right?
Yeah.
Come on, I'm a 7th grade dropout over here. But let me tell you this jerk of a person. I have it it's in my phone, and we're using my phone. I have a note that I can go to, but let me just tell you, this jerk of a human being took the most amazing plant that the world was using, and that's why the power in one. People gotta not underestimate themselves. There's massive power in just one person. One man made it his mission to villainize this drug. And when Billie Holiday was singing that song, the Fruit song, what's the name of the song? You know the song?
Yeah, I know.
About the lynching song?
Yeah,
Strange Fruit. Billie Holiday was singing Strange Fruit. And they created an organization. It was the hip hop police of their time that was ran by this jerk bastard who's a Swedish immigrant. And this jerk did not want Billie Holiday singing that song. So he took away her ability to make a living, that she was in the chitlin circuit singing this song. So what he did was he got an undercover agent to infiltrate her and be her best friend. And she became best friends with this guy who was a federal agent, black man, who actually fell in love with Billie Holiday and was trying to, figure out a way to save her. But, Billie Holiday died at like 30-something years old. It's like a horrible, I heard there's a whole, story on TV right now. I don't watch television, but I did hear that there's like what is that? Zeus? Is it Zeus or is it what's the other one? Not Netflix. It's another one. It's about. But there's a thing going on where they're exposing this. But this is something that I've known for a while. Actually, LJ, my wife, she helped me because Billie Holiday's birthday was whatever month it was in. She was like, "Yo, listen." So I started to do the research about Billie Holiday. I started to learn more. I always knew about this guy with the marijuana, but I didn't know that this racist son of a bee had convinced the world that this plant is the most horrible plant in the world, that all these hundreds of thousands of men have been in prison. Women too have been in prison for this plant because of one man's passion to outlaw this plant. It's absolutely disturbing. And I didn't indulge until I was 37 years old. You know this. Daniel B knows this. I didn't mess around with any drugs. I'm barely drunk. I still don't really drink. But I never got high. It wasn't until, can I tell you the story?
Yes.
Am I talking too much?
No. Yeah, talking too much.
Story time.
It is.
I started to sell cannabis 12 years ago. And when I started, I got that. I was thinking about you here.
Thank you. I was just looking for mine. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, what you need, Ulrich? Ulrich needs
That's the best side.
So, story time. 12 years ago, I started to sell cannabis. And the way I started to sell cannabis, the story I'm going to say really quickly, is that I get a call from a woman that I used to date. And she says to me, "What happened to your bar? I'm at your bar and the bar is closed." And I'm like, "What's going on?"
No, I want story time. Is you telling us?
No. You guys are here with me.
No, I know, but I like focusing on you.
No.
Okay.
No. We together. Come on.
Nah, because I'm sitting here listening to you.
No. Story time is that our ex-girlfriend gives me a call and she's like, "Yo, I'm at your bar. What happened? Where you at?" And I lie to her and I say, "Oh no, we having plumbing problems. That's why we closed." But that wasn't true. The reason why we were closed is because there was a shooting in the bar the week before we had to close. because we were dealing with some legal issues and there was all kind of drama going on. Somebody gets shot in your bar, there's always a problem. So now, while this is going on, she calls me up and she calls me back in 5 minutes and she's like, can I get your security Omar's number?
No.
I said, why do you need my security Omar's number? She said, oh, because whenever I come into town, we always get an ounce from Omar. I was like, really? So I call Omar and I said, yo, Omar, you at my bar selling weed? He says, nah, why do you say that? And I said, I've got a call from this chick and she's telling me every time she comes, she buys an ounce from you. He's like, yeah, but it ain't really for me. You know, I call my brother. So I said, oh, so every time I see your brother at my bar, he's selling weed? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dang. Mind you, Omar, my security, lived in Pennsylvania. I'm in Harlem at the time. And I then call up his brother who lives in Harlem and said, yo, this girl gave me a call. She wants some weed. And he was like, all right, it's $100. I was like, no problem. I call her back. All of this is taking place in about 12 minutes time. The first call, her second call, me calling Omar, me calling his brother, me calling her back. I say to her, I need $150. And she said, no, we only pay $100. And I was just like, it's $150. She said, all right, no problem. I get in my car, I drive, give the guy $100, then I drive over to her and give it to her for $150. And I hadn't made any money in a month. Well, 3 weeks we were closed. I hadn't made any money. That was the first money I made, so that definitely a bell went off. Like I just made $50, and all this whole time it took 25 minutes for the whole thing to happen. From the time she called me, the time I picked it up, let's say 30 minutes, just to be safe. 30 minutes. I made $50 in 30 minutes. I was like, there's got to be something to it. So a year later, I'm in full swing. I got a whole business here. I have 150 clients. I'm working every day. Every day my phone is ringing. I'm doing well. I'm selling cannabis. The bar itself had to close for a year. It was a year timeline. It was like, we got to close for a year and then you could reopen after that year. And I went full-fledged into the cannabis business at that time. And what am I going to say? What am I saying?
It's about the Abernathy guy.
No.
So now, after a year of me selling it, never used it, never touched it, didn't interest me. I always thought these was for like, silly, lazy niggas. I didn't think it was really for somebody who was, I'm not trying to feel myself, but it wasn't for me. I wasn't the kind of person who wanted to feel outside myself. I liked how I felt. I didn't want to feel an alternative version of myself. That's what I thought I was going to feel. So one day I meet this client, and the client that I meet, he would always call me and say, can you buy me a wooden pipe? So he would get $100 worth of cannabis, and I would buy a $35 pipe for him, and I would buy, I can't remember, but it was a pipe and some, filters. He always wanted metal filters. He's like, I need at least 12 metal filters. And every time he would call me, he would say, I need a new pipe, new filters, and I need another bag. So I would no problem, sir, I got you. One day he says, meet me at the Starbucks. I'm standing out by the Starbucks. He's like, we gotta walk. Just walk with me. So I'm walking with him, and as I'm walking with him, a woman walks by and says to him, good morning, Judge. And he's like, good morning. And we're walking, and he said, come on, let's go. This is my block. So we're turning onto his block. And as we're walking down his block, 10 more people walking by. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Judge. Hi. The doorman is like, because this is on 80th Street in the east side. Good morning, Judge. Everyone is good morning, Judge. Good morning, Judge. So I started to think about this. That's the day I said, I'm trying this shit. Yeah. This is not for losers and weirdos and junkies and people that can't think and non-intellectuals. I am going to try this. And this is my story about how I say, I'm going to give it a go. And I did. I started with edibles, of course. Not of course,
I was
but
gonna say that's scary. You take somebody. You have to see somebody of prominence to do a bad thing to get you to do
It wasn't a bad
to
thing.
get a bad thing, to do something that you didn't think was good before.
Right.
But then you saw him because he was prominent and you said it can't be that bad.
Yeah, because I didn't know he was a
That's how
judge.
it gets-
I just
yeah,
thought he
yeah.
was an older man, you know, and I knew he had a nice
Sure.
vehicle. He think he was driving a Range Rover, and you know, he just, you know, every time I saw him, it was just no big deal. I would meet him on 81st Street by the Starbucks, give it to him in a nice bag, and every time, because he would do it and he'll get rid of the pipe, he throws it away.
Okay.
So it probably lasts him. Maybe his wife goes out of town. I don't know. I don't think about him any longer. But he was my client for a couple of years. And after a year, I was like, I'm giving this a try. And I tried it. And let me tell you, it is not a simple thing. You try cannabis, you're not going to feel the same effects you're going to feel. It's a drug. It's going to have to go through your system. The first way you feel it, the first day I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And then I was like a silly person. I was like, oh my goodness. And it was like that. I couldn't remember. I was like driving. I'm like, am I going uptown or downtown? I had no idea for a split second. And that was like kind of cool. I was like, oh man, I didn't even know where I was going. Ah! And you think it's so funny. But then after a while, it goes through your system and then you respond a little differently. It's not like if Daniel B, if you was to take a couple of pulls of some cannabis, that has nothing to do with the way you're gonna feel 6 months after you do it. It takes the body and you understanding what you like, what you don't like. They got some of the things that make you want to scratch, some of the things that get you so paranoid. You don't know, oh my God, the cops are coming. You're like freaking out and paranoid. That kind of stuff I don't want. I don't want none of that paranoid stuff. I don't want none of that itchy stuff. I don't want, and I'm a lightweight. I just do sativas and I call it a day. I'm a very lightweight when it comes to smoking. Anytime I'm smoking, allegedly with Ulrich, he's always like, can you pass that? Like, it's out already. Hello. He's like, okay, we gotta relight it, come on.
Not that we smoke or anything.
No, not together, no. So I do that by myself. Ulrich is, he's an educator, and
Oh, yeah,
Daniel's
you
an
do that.
entrepreneur, and we don't really wanna, blow up anybody's spots. But, I just say that because there's just one man has so much power to just give that such a black eye, and it's really not. It's really not.
Yeah, but that same judge had that such power just to relieve it of all its sin based on you. You're saying just this judge, this person.
He relieved it of all its
Yeah, but
sin.
so-
No, not
so
all of his sin, because
What-
I knew I could still be
But
arrested.
what I'm saying, you based on you in both circumstances, one man was able to kind of turn around and put it in a negative eye, ledger. But it's many people. It's not one man. You got to get a pub. There's many people that work towards this stuff, putting out like people who put out
No,
Reefer Madness.
dude.
There's many producers, people that got to go.
Yes.
But not like.
Daniel B, what's going on?
He
You
probably
said you
wasn't.
giving him
I-
the seat 'cause I'm
honestly,
saying
I doubt that the guy that you're referring to was the spearhead of that of negatively putting forth or putting in negative imagery or
Yes, he
negative
was.
connotation towards weed.
Yes, he was.
I don't.
Yes, he was.
He was the single.
Like if we had a
force,
time
the
machine,
individual
I'm gonna go
force.
to him and when he's a baby and take him out.
I'm trying to think of.
I'm gonna take him out. If there was a
You're gonna
time
terminate-
machine,
you're gonna terminate him?
the Terminator movie, they didn't need to be getting that chick. They need to be getting that dude. Straight up.
I'm trying we know like
It's-
Franz
yo,
Ferdinand. We
dude,
know
it's
France. We know
disgusting
it
and
was because
disturbing.
of Franz Ferdinand. We know that's why World War One started.
Sirhan,
Are we
Sirhan.
like
Sirhan, yes.
No, Franz Ferdinand. Hold on.
World War One is because of Sirhan.
No, Franz.
No, Franz Ferdinand.
Franz
was
Ferdinand.
assassinated.
Sir Franz Ferdinand was assassinated.
Yes.
And that's.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yes,
Sir-
he was assassinated, but he drove down the same block twice in the same day. They tried to assassinate him. He drove off, then came back around and went down the same block and got killed. You want to believe that story? That's the official story.
Yeah, but that's the same
That's
thing.
the
as-
official
Yeah,
story.
but that's.
Come on, you got Daniel B.
Yeah, but-
Come on, what you doing? You
All
trying
right.
to get to the bathroom again?
All right,
What's
so
going on?
No, just.
All right, but what stories are going to be appropriate? Because that other story,
wanna feel
that
taller
one
than
guy,
you
the
guys.
weed guy, the guy who like diminished weed or made weed look bad to everybody, that's still like a story that's told that we know that as much as we can verify that as much as we can verify the Franz Ferdinand story.
Yeah, the Ferdinand story is a guy drove down the block with his security. They tried to kill him. And then after about 20, 30 minutes later, he drove back down the same block and got killed.
I mean,
It's ludicrous. It's ridiculous.
I mean, well,
This is the official story, my guy.
I mean,
This
yeah.
is how many millions of people died, dude. That's many hundreds of thousands of people went to jail for the marijuana or for one motherfucker. It's
Yeah,
the
but
same
that's-
way.
but that's
Let me finish. It's the same way that dude that drove in that car and got killed and assassinated on some old came back and got killed and assassinated. Right?
That's what I said.
No,
That's
no.
what I said. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
said. It's
How
the same
many
thing.
millions of people died over that?
But that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. But what the million people? you
What I'm
can
saying is, don't discount one man's power to destroy a lot of shit going on. Please
wait.
don't discount that.
Wait, but we discounted one man's power to start an entire to start the dominoes towards a great war.
What?
Because it's not that Franz Ferdinand's assassination just started a war. That started an issue with the Austro-Hungarians, and then that started an
Right.
issue with more and then more people. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying that generally led to a domino effect, and you were saying that maybe that because his assassination was maybe contrived, it was kind of put on the same way like other
It was a false flag.
conspiratorial things.
It was a
I
false
mean,
flag. It
no, I'm
wasn't
not saying
real.
that's not
what they
possible.
told the people.
But I'm saying, but look, the same. But is that guy hidden? Like the guy you're speaking of, that stopped marijuana, is he hidden as is he a hidden figure in history that
no,
like no
you
one?
can read this. You can
Yeah,
read
but that's
all.
exactly that's my point. So that's a story. That's a same way that's a story.
No. This is not no story that okay, it's in a book. Anybody could have just wrote something. What you're reading and the conspiratorial aspects of it, dude, it's not being pushed as a conspiracy. It's being pushed as this is the story. This is what happened.
The weed thing.
No, I was talking back about the guy who got assassinated.
Yeah, but so the other story. So the weed guy is not. They're trying to hide that he.
They're
was
not
a
trying to
person.
hide that.
So that.
You can look him up and you can find out
No, that's what I'm saying.
what a
So that's what-
scumbag he was. And
Yeah,
what
so
he
that's
did
what I'm
to
saying.
Billie Holiday.
So
dude.
he's known to. So he's known as the guy who got to put a negative connotation to weed.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I'm saying. So that could be a contrived story, the same way that Franz Ferdinand could be a contrived story. So what I do? What I ruin Christmas?
You didn't ruin Christmas. It's just that what you're saying is you're excusing what is being told as if it's a lie because it's being told, and everything being told possibly is a lie.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just no. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying there was more. The only thing I disagree with is that there was more factors probably than that one man. If it came to putting out negative propaganda towards weed, there's no way one person is responsible for that.
That's
like
my
Hitler
point.
had.
This is my point.
Yeah.
This is my point. It was one man.
No, that's
This
my
is
point. Is there's
this
no
is-
way it was one man. That's
It
my
was
point.
one man.
There's no way it was one.
It
man.
was one man,
There's
dude.
No way it
this
was
is what
one
you.
man.
This is what makes it so sick, and this is why you, sir, please don't underestimate your power. You, sir, and you, sir, and you, ma'am, don't underestimate your power. You can change the world.
Yeah, but I thought. But,
You
yeah,
can change the world. One person's passion can change the world.
Yeah, but if this
Don't
is a
think
simulation.
that we need.
If this is a simulation controlled by people, then the world's being controlled by. Then the one man shouldn't make a difference if this is a simulation.
One man shouldn't make a difference. You see, this is my point on my
If this is
treatment.
simulating,
When I say that you can rewrite your script, the script that you were meant for, Ulrich, Mr. Brolick, okay, with your lifestyle and the way you get down, that script could be changed at any time by you.
That's called my free will.
Yes.
Yeah, and I believe in that. I
Yes.
believe, but
Yes.
I don't believe there's somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me say this to you.
You just speak about God in different ways. That's
No,
all
no,
you
no,
do.
no.
You
No, I'm
speak
not talking about God.
You just put God. You paraphrase
I'm not
that
talking
idea of God.
about God. What I'm talking about is
And you apply it to humans.
If we were to teach people the stories of that SOB that did that to Billie Holiday and did what he did to marijuana, and we were to tell people that the
Marijuana's
only
not
reason
person.
why he was able to do that is because he knew that he could do anything. If you really believe in the power of that one person changing the world, you would change the world.
I believe in one person domino
And
effects.
he believed it.
Just like
I don't
Franz
know what he
Ferdinand.
was
He was a
told,
one-person
what
domino
room he
effect.
went to.
I
I
believe
don't
in
know
that. That's
what
real.
books they opened, and they said, "Look at this. You can do whatever you want. In this reality, you can be whatever you want." I don't know what gave him that power and that strength to want to do that.
And also the sinking of the Luinestas would really start a war.
Stop
that was
it.
a false flag. That
Stop
was a false.
it.
But that was a false flag.
So that's-
That came out.
Can-
No, but that came out to be a false flag.
Right.
But I'm saying, but that
All
false flag
wars
was.
are false flags.
Oh, God.
Weapons of mass destruction. Hello. Weapons of mass destruction. Hello.
Come back.
What happened to the
Come
weapons
on,
of mass
come
destruction?
on.
Where are they? All wars.
we're here.
What happened
Come
to the Gulf of Tonkin? All wars. Nobody. Look what's going on in Russia.
No, it's not a war. You can say
That
all
ain't-
narrative. You can say all narratives are fake. Then, just like that narrative of the guy who destroyed weed could be a fake narrative.
The guy that did what?
That destroyed weed. You're talking about. You saying that
That's not a fake
See
narrative.
why I don't do drugs?
That's not a fake. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Because
Yeah,
you gotta-
yeah,
no,
whoa,
let me
whoa,
say this. You gotta stop walking away. Seriously, you gotta stop walking away. Seriously,
wait.
I need you to stay. And then, what are you trying to say? That
No, I'm sorry. I
I'm
just
doing
don't understand.
drugs,
No.
and
I'm-
Ulrich is doing drugs, so
I'm-
you cannot
I'm
understand?
being sarcastic because you guys are talking about false flags. You're talking about wars being started, narrative,
No, we're making it.
simulation.
we're disagreeing
finish
on-
with simulations, all the rest of this. It's things that's out of my understanding.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a lot better than saying dismissing us with a broad stroke. Don't do that, because let me tell you, the Gulf of Tonkin is what
Now you're gonna
the
lose
reason
it
why
again.
we
You're gonna
went
lose
to
it again. You're gonna
Vietnam.
lose it again.
You ever heard of the Gulf of Tonkin?
No.
Yeah.
no.
You should look up. You should check out the Gulf of Tonkin. The Gulf of Tonkin is the reason why 50,000 Americans were killed in a war that we should have never been to. That's the Gulf of Tonkin. And weapons of mass destruction
See?
is another war that we went to, and 100,000 soldiers died. What was it? 3,500 a week died from that. Whatever the case is, all of that stuff is being controlled and contrived. We have regular human beings, regular men like you, Ulrich, men like me. They understand something, and what they understand is that war makes a lot of money, and if we gotta have a war, we need a reason to have a war. You have to get the people to agree to the war. If you can't get people to agree to the war, there ain't no war.
Wait, well, let's get Daniel. Maybe Daniel will kind of gravitate.
What I'm saying, but then
back.
what
So
I'm
maybe
saying
there's
is
an
these are-
audience.
These have been proven that they've been all lies.
Because in a weird
No
way,
one-
you can speak for
no
the
one-
audience in a few ways.
No
you know,
one
'cause we-
wins a war. So I understand what you guys are saying, but anytime that you have a conflict like that, no one truly wins.
You don't
No,
understand. You really
no,
don't
yeah,
understand
no,
what
we're
I'm
not
saying.
talking-
What
yeah.
I'm saying is, how do you start a war? Not how to win a war. It's all the things. Gulf of Tonkin is the reason that we use to go into the war. Weapons of mass destruction is the reasons we use. Remember when that really nice black man went in front of America and said that he is 100% sure that they have weapons of mass destruction in this place, and we went over there and we killed how many people? 2 million people?
Yeah, but wait, but they're gonna get lost because we keep on half speaking on a bunch of topics. So we're not. So they're just gonna be.
Well, my point is this,
Yeah.
Daniel, all these wars have been proven to be fake hoaxes in order to get us into war.
Yeah, but I think the issues that we went through.
So
that,
you're
we were
saying
talking about where
the
we're
reasoning to start a war has been
Lies.
fake,
Yes.
but the actual war has been real.
Yes. The
See,
wars
that's
are
where-
real.
okay, hold
People
on,
are
hold on.
dying. Hell
That's the disconnect. What it makes it seem like is everything is fake.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's what you're hearing.
No. Okay. Well,
That's what
I'm
you're hearing.
now
That's
that
not what
you-
I'm saying.
Now that you clarified it,
I'm not
for
saying
me,
that.
I get more of an
No,
understanding.
in other words, all right. In other words,
No, I know
yeah.
exactly. I get it.
Yeah, wars. People are dying every day. Cops are arresting
once you start
people.
talking about-
Cops arrested me for marijuana 3 times. I had to do 30 days in a Connecticut jail for marijuana off of
Yeah, I
some
think
lying motherfucker
I think I can summarize.
who
the point.
started the
Yeah.
bullshit. So yes, it's real.
I
I did
think
go.
he's not
I did
talking
get
about-
arrested for it.
He's not talking about whether things are real or fake. I think he's talking about the justification for such things, like the potential justification, like Franz Ferdinand said, it could be contrived. justification for someone could be fake.
Yeah, but when you start
But so-
saying
but not
wars
that
of
everything-
Tonkin and
No, but no,
you know,
Go
but-
for
no, no,
Tonkin
but-
is
but- no,
history,
no, but-
Daniel.
no, no, but what
That's
he's
the
saying is-
Vietnam War.
No, no.
How did we go into the Vietnam War?
Let me explain, because he's just antagonizing. He's not gonna.
No, people need to
What was
know.
it?
People
What
need
was
to
it?
know this
No,
stuff.
No, but people are not gonna know what we're talking about.
It's at
So
all.
the issue,
That's what you think.
so the
Daniel,
no,
let me tell you, a lot of people know about the
no,
Gulf
no,
of
but
Tonkin.
but what we're talking
What's the
about,
main
what
thing, not
we're
just
talking
that's-
about, not what
exactly.
without the. So I guess where we ended up just now, that's why it's an issue where we don't have a topic. Where we ended up on the most recent part, because I guess we were disagreeing about the justifications for why war should happen or why wars don't happen. And I think what Elvis was trying to say with the Gulf of Tonkin is what's advertised and what gains public support for war is different for the actual reasonings for people entering the war. So in
Right.
other words, people say we come to war to spread democracy when they're trying to get certain resources from certain countries.
Right.
So that's what he's talking about is fact, and not that everything's fake, but it's a fact that people misappropriate justification for war and stuff, like use different things like that. So that's what it is.
And that's what I
maybe
said.
we're
That's
back
why
in
I
the
understand.
same
Yeah,
line. Right.
people start wars for using lies and everything else, but the wars are real. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
people are
That's it.
dying.
Yeah.
Just like
So
people
that's
went to
just-
jail for the
So
marijuana.
that's, if you
These
get
cops-
anything for
These
this
cops
episode,
arrested people for marijuana
Yeah.
when marijuana was a beautiful thing. They had cannabis shops all through the
Yeah,
1900s.
But before we
All
go into
over the
another
place.
chat, before we get into another chat, I think this is a good time to say the conclusion for this topic is that wars are wars are real. The justifications might not be real because we're just gonna go with the tangents. Maybe we should take a break and then go into another episode.
Whatever. Whatever. Daniel don't. When you say Gulf of Tonkin, Daniel's like, huh? But that's history.
But you
huh?
understand, a
That's
lot
history.
of people. Wait, hold on. A lot of people are like that. What is the gist of what you're saying? Is the same thing that Ori just said and I just said. That wars are. If you would have said wars are started, and an example of it is the thing of Tonkin, Franz Ferdinand. All of these things were started falsely, but
Right.
the wars were actually real.
That
I
is
know.
what
I
I
get
said.
more. No.
You didn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear it because there was so much other stuff.
No.
Yeah, that's but to be fair, that
You
would
lose my
distract
people in
because
the
you
words
start.
you use.
Yeah, because you start when you start naming.
No,
it.
you start-
No, I would get how
no.
how
What's-
the viewers.
you know what the
you're not, you're
problem
talking,
is?
I can
No,
follow you.
no.
I can follow you because I know
No,
I know
no,
you and I know what you're talking
no.
about.
Let me tell you what
the
the problem
viewers
is.
can't follow you.
No, they
if
can
you
follow
say
me.
that. I can.
If they don't believe in this kind of shit, then they won't be able to follow me.
Is that
If I say to a person, the Gulf of Tonkin, and that shit is wah 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 wah.
yeah, but they
These
cannot
are
be.
not-
But they
let-
cannot be informed
let me
about it.
finish,
If
let me
they're not
finish.
informed about it.
If I say to a person, the Gulf of Tonkin, and that shit don't even make no sense in their brain, then there's a good chance that person is never gonna be able to get it. Because I knew about the Gulf of Tonkin before 2016, 2015.
But you didn't know about it before that.
I did know about it. I did.
So when did you learn about it?
I don't know, when I was 22 years old.
Okay, some people don't know about it. I know I don't know about it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are educated don't know about it. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Is certain times if you go to the gist of everything, which is what Orik said, and you agreeing with without all of that, because what it does to me, well, let me put it to me, it throws me all off.
Exactly.
But hold on.
Exactly.
Hold on. But when you said, hey, all I'm saying is, I'm using an example of wars that are started falsely.
All of
When
them.
you start saying false flags, this and this, I'm not a YouTuber.
Right.
Nobody understands this shit outside of that.
Right.
Unless
Okay, that's a
unless
good
you're into
point.
conspiracy, you won't get it.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. I'm only telling you what my general public knows. When you say these things, you throw everybody. What it sounds like when you start talking that and not explaining it. Oh, this guy believes in
That's the
conspiracy.
problem.
Yeah.
People can't.
Hold
People.
on, hold on.
People. They don't
Nah,
even let
but
you
you-
explain
but you
it. They
can't
just
blame-
automatically
but
go.
you have to-
But you
you
got to
have to
explain it. You
explain
got to
it.
explain it.
You
do
gotta
gotta
explain it.
You got to explain it, man. I got.
It's not stupidity. It's ignorance. Nobody knows, unless you're on these YouTube streets.
What does that say? Listen to Brother Daniel. All right.
It's like I don't get it either. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Explain
yeah.
it.
Well,
Break
you know,
it down to me.
there's like my whole point is there's this one guy who Ulrich was trying to say it's bigger than the one guy. No, sir, the power is in the one guy. Okay? The power is in the one guy. You and you and you have that power. The same power to change, move mountains. Something that we do all the time. We see a mountain here in America, you know what we do with the mountain? We either go through it and put a tunnel, or we knock the whole damn thing down.
Remember, the person sitting on top of the tree is not always the one who planted the seed.
The person sitting on top of the tree is not the one who planted the seed. Let me tell you this about that. That analogy, I kind of get what you're saying. It sounds hard, but let me tell you this. I would never think that the guy standing or sitting on top of a tree is the one who grew it.
Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, exactly. That's my point.
I
That's
would
why.
never
But
think
that's my
that.
point. But that's
I would
why.
never think
But that literally, that's my entire point. Is that you're saying one man can change everything. I'm saying one man might have been end up being the figurehead of that change, or one man may have been the figurehead of the book that sparked that change. But it definitely wasn't one man.
No, it was one man. It was one man. No, that's my point. I get your point. Honestly, you know what your point is, Ulrich? Your point is regular, unobjective. My point is from an objective perspective. My point is from an objective
Your point is
perspective.
regular.
It's regular. Everybody,
That was the best
everybody
rebuttal
thinks
I've ever
that
heard.
it's so
Your point
big
is regular.
and there's so many moving parts and there's nothing we can do about it. That's a lie.
No, I don't think there's nothing we can do about it.
Nothing we can do.
I don't-
There's
I
so
don't
much going on, so much conspiracy, so many moving parts, so much, man behind the curtain.
No,
It's that nigga right there.
You're applying criticism that I didn't put forward.
It's
I
that
didn't- I
guy.
didn't-
It's the wait,
There's a criticism
wait,
you got, you
move
just
over,
have.
move over. Somebody pass me the Ruger. It's this nigga right here. We taking him out. And now, taking one man out might give you 10 more years before the next nigga come up. Not 10 seconds like people think. As soon as I go, they kill me today. No. Like look at Kevin Samuels. What a short time he was here and he moved that needle. One man. One man and the power of one man can change the world. That's why you have to choose a side. Are you going to move the world for evil? Or are you going to move the world for good?
He's reading his mantra about evil, good and evil as we speak.
Yes, I am.
All right. So, we could digress from this talk of all wars have been lied. We put a lie just to get to the war. You ever heard
Because
about?
as soon as you say that, they probably won't listen to the justification.
You ever heard about the Liberty? That battleship.
Wait, we're not
Liberty?
going to stop
That was-
and start a whole nother topic because we're going to be.
Well, let's stop right now. What's the
Yeah,
topic, Mister?
No, we're going to stop.
No, we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep going.
You just want to keep going?
We're gonna keep going. What's the topic?
Well,
You want to talk about You want to talk about Shannon Sharp?
If you want to talk.
Hey,
about
Shannon Sharp. Hey, girl.
You see, I think we should stop and take a second and then.
Yeah, that's a whole
so-
other topic that I don't agree with. But we're about to get into that.
What you don't agree with? Why everybody think people that are in sports are straight?
Nobody's saying they're not.
These niggas is
No,
homos. When I was in the
I'm not
bar,
even talking about that.
when
I'm
I was
saying-
in the bar business, all the gangster niggas I had them on video touching each other. That's a fact. Why you think Shannon Sharp ain't? How you doing? Hey Shannon Sharp, hey girl. Everything about Shannon Sharp is hey Shannon Sharp, hey girl. Let's stop playing that game. Would you see a man with muscles? So what? He's hetero?
What are you
Like,
talking?
what are you talking about?
What are you addressing all these
Dang, I
criticisms I
agree
put
with it.
forward?
Are you kidding me? Shannon Sharp is.
I don't talk about anyone. If that's their sexual preference, so be it. I'm not one to
No.
judge.
No, I'm not one to judge neither. There's
That's
a lot.
if you just said,
I'm not
like,
judging him. There's nothing wrong with him being into slobbing on the knob. They can do all that.
I think we're disagreeing.
If that's
about,
what he wanna do.
we're all disagreeing about different things. This is how it's going to confuse. the
Shannon
person
Sharp is
watching.
allowed to get on a pole and twerk, and he's allowed to, shake what his mama gave him. Because I know, hey, Shannon Sharp, ain't got nothing wrong with Shannon Sharp getting, come on. You got to live his truth.
We're doing the same thing we did on that last episode. We're going through tangents. We introduce the topic.
What's the topic?
Yeah, exactly.
What's
you
the
started
topic?
talking about Shannon Sharp.
We were talking about Shannon Sharp earlier. That's why I said it.
They
Hey,
don't know
Shannon
that.
Sharp.
They don't
Hey,
know
girl.
that.
Hey, girl. Shannon Sharp. We're his Shay Shay Club. It's Shay Shay Room. Stop it. Club Shay Shay. Hey, Club Shay Shay. Hey, girl. Let me tell you,
Yeah,
if I was gonna
man.
open up a club, and the gay one would be Shay Shay. That's a fact. Okay, the gay one would not. The straight club would not be called Shay Shay. Okay, Shay Shay. Stop it. So what was the other topic we were talking about? Zion and his baby, and the prostitute.
We got to
who
go
claimed-
into the whole what it is, what happened, because a lot of people are not up to date with this. We got to explain it.
I don't know
I'll
anything about this guy. Ulrich knows about this guy. I don't know about this guy. I know that there's. I know he's a young man. Zion is a basketball player that plays for who?
Okay, all right. All right. Well, at least this works because now we can segue into a topic.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So
Yo, Daniel, you gotta stop walking
All
out
right.
the frame, dude. You're like obsessed.
all right. So
You're
Zion.
obsessed.
Zion is a player who played for the. He plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. He was a popular player on Duke, but his biggest how he became a star was actually when he was in high school, because he had the craziest high school dunking mixtapes. Like his high school mixtapes were crazier than LeBron as far as
Explain to them
dunking.
what a high school mistake is.
High school mixtape is basketball highlights of him most. But his kind of main attraction was his dunking.
Right.
He was a really big. He was like almost
Dark skin.
290 pounds. He could jump. He can jump higher than most guys. Would be a third his size.
Yeah.
And he dunked really gracefully. And he dunked with a lot of power. So it was kind of an eyesore. It was crazy to see. It was like a compact Shaq, kind of just
Right.
dunking.
Right.
up
That's
people.
what they were all comparing him to Shaq. I remember those days.
So
He was a dominating force
Yeah.
in high school, and it was always highlighted. And his reel was, which a lot of kids do. They come out with a reel to get into colleges and everything else to show
Right.
their highlights.
Right.
His was just so
Crazy.
extraordinary that he stood out from anyone who was coming in to basketball in college at that time.
And now he's on a
Yeah.
team called the Pelicans.
yeah, so now he made the NBA. He's had a somewhat successful career. He's
As a
had been
sneaker.
he has injury. He's been plagued by some injuries, but so here we are. Right now, Zion Williamson is in the NBA. He was an All-Star last year. Now he's kind of just an injury-laden player. So
Right.
there's nothing about his NBA career that's talked about. The only thing, the first thing we hear about Zion, and we've heard about Zion in a while, is this new baby mama drama. I never thought I'd say
Wait,
that.
is it his baby mama?
It's baby mama drama.
She's like gonna be baby mama.
No. It all goes on it goes under the umbrella of baby mama drama because it involves a pregnancy and a woman he's not married to. So whatever.
Right. So there's a young woman that claims that he is going public that this woman is about to have my child.
Yeah. So all right. So Zion Williamson had a public girlfriend, and he had a public girlfriend that recently got pregnant. So he made a kind of very high stylized, very high production kind of video about their pregnancy. They're like kissing. They're on a beach. They're all wearing nice, flowy suits and dresses. They're kissing.
They're like matching and all
Yeah,
that, right?
it's ridiculous. It's on sand. It's over the top.
Where are you seeing this at? Is this Twitter?
Well, if you go on the Bleach, so I'm all right. So,
Hold on 1 second. Just want to show you what this woman looks like.
wait. Let's jump ahead.
Okay.
All right. So if you so this is currently we just had the NBA Finals in. right? So for the NBA Finals, I constantly focus on the Bleacher Report because the Bleacher Report gives updates on everything
The
that happens.
Bleacher Report.
The Bleacher Report. The Bleacher Report gives like little updates on NBA, like somebody's going to be injured for the next game, so on and so forth.
Right.
On that, they also give NBA news when it comes to topical, dramatic information. And that's when we found out about the Ja Morant. That's where I found out about the Ja Morant situation,
Right.
which we talked about a few episodes ago, and this Zion Wilson information. And I only preface that to say I'm not searching. I don't follow Zion Wilson on.
This just happens to
Twitter
be on
or
the Bleacher
anything.
Report.
Yeah. So what happened was while Zion Wilson made this pregnancy announcement with a woman he announced to be his girlfriend. They're happy. They're jovial. Everything's going great. A few days later, or as soon as not even a few days later, as soon as this video came out, another woman who alleges to be Zion's lover. Elvis or Danny, you want to talk about this lady's credentials or occupation?
The OnlyFans content creator and porn star.
Yeah, only.
Let's not use that word porn star. She's not a star.
She's not a star.
She does pornography. She's not a star.
Now she's a star.
That was beautiful.
Maybe,
now
maybe,
a
but
star.
she's not a star. The black porn star, right? That is ranked, and we're not talking about Pinky. Pinky might be ranked number 2003. That's ranked in the top. Is there even one in the top 100 porn stars that even black?
I don't watch the porn
Yeah.
star rank.
Yeah. Well, she's not winning any AVN awards.
So she's according to Elvis medium level porn
Right.
practitioner. She's
Yeah.
not she's a porn
she does
practitioner.
she does porn stuff, and she.
Yeah.
But here's the question: does she do real porn, or this is part of her OnlyFans?
Daniel.
From my understanding, it's part of our OnlyFans.
Yeah, so she's not a porn star. I'm sick of these women talking about they porn stars. No, you a chick with an iPhone.
That's fair.
You're a chick with an iPhone.
No,
You're
actually,
You're not a
with a
porn
kid
star.
for- you can
wait,
be
you
porn
don't think
star.
you don't think OnlyFans?
Yeah.
OnlyFans
No, that's
like
not.
count
You're
as-
doing pornography, yes, but you're not a porn star.
Oh.
In order to be a porn star, you have to be
You're
ranked.
porn elitist.
what's
Yo,
the-
you're a porn elitist.
Whatever.
You're a porn
She's
elitist.
not ranked.
Elvis is a
She's
porn
not
elitist.
ranked.
Ranked
I
by
am
who? Who's
shocked,
judging these
right?
things?
Yeah, the people,
I've
the
never
people
thought I'd
judge
see
it.
a porn
Because
elitist.
people
Black
judge it.
China
No,
is
the-
not considered a porn star, but she made more money than most porn
No,
stars
no,
did.
no,
Yeah, she made
on
more money
OnlyFans.
than most
No,
executives did.
but that's
too.
like the people. That seems like the people judge the Academy Award. The Academy judges the Academy nominees and the Academy Awards. The same way the people judge. The website promote these certain girls that they like. Listen, I don't want. I
She's
don't want.
doing pornography.
I don't want to
She's not a
promote.
porn star.
Listen, I agree with
Okay.
that. I don't think
Well,
she's
let's
a
just
star.
say this: the young lady is known to have sex with multiple men
on camera.
on camera.
All right, there we go. Perfect.
On an iPhone
And I think
13.
one of the
Perfect.
biggest issues is the fact that
Perfect, but wait, no,
Zion-
perfect
okay.
segue. Now we can, all right. So she's a porn practitioner. She's known to do sexual videos on camera. So,
and
so,
nothing wrong with that. If that's what she
Of course
chooses,
she
go
had to
ahead.
say
Yeah.
but so,
Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's nothing wrong with that?
I
Who would
don't-
think? No one said there was anything wrong
I'm
with
throwing a
that.
disclaimer because just throwing a disclaimer out.
all right, we'll let this-
She's an adult. She has the
All
right
right.
to choose what she wants to do, right?
All right. So once his pregnancy video came out that Zion made with this woman, she just went on a Twitter rant, or was it an Instagram rant? She went on. I think it was Twitter.
Instagram.
It was
or could have been Twitter. Whatever
Twitter
the
rant.
case
She
was.
went on a writing rant.
She showed
And-
text messages that
Yeah,
they had.
text message that Zion Williams had sent to her, personal text message. She said that, Zion, I let you spit in my mouth. How could you do this to me? So, it was actually shockingly entertaining.
Spitting in her mouth was the deal breaker.
No,
No,
it
not
was
the deal
fact
breaker.
that
No,
he
was
she
just
she thought
she
she
was
was
just putting
pregnant
him on
also.
blast.
And she
No,
was
no.
yeah.
Oh, that's not. Yeah. So she also made it. She also insinuated,
yeah.
I'm late. Yeah, I'm late. So you better watch. You better check on me too, or something like
And
that.
she
which
said
is
it's
a
wrong
child.
for her to have him to have unprotected sex with her and this other girl.
Yeah. Also, random funny aside. This is from the same Bleacher Report thing. Zion, literally something like this happened in Duke, which I didn't know. So in Duke, a video came out with him in bed with some woman, and he's like, "Yo, I don't know, you know how beautiful you are. You just don't know how beautiful." And then he's with the shirt off, and it leaked when he was still like
He was simple.
yeah, he was cat, you know.
But there's also there's a
I don't know why you would tell. Like,
There's
first of all,
yeah.
bro, I have never listened. I've been with women who I felt were really pretty. At no point have I just stared at them and felt the need to just gush over them.
But maybe,
but
you know,
that's
but then
neither
again,
here
my
nor
thing
there.
is this is a young man finding himself, you know, like that's why he's paying this enormous. I think what he's paying her $100,000 or $50,000 to live in the town.
Oh yeah, he moved her out. Yeah, that's another. Yeah,
and
he
he was
moved
giving
her
her
out
like
to
an allowance.
This is the
porn star.
let's call her the OnlyFans woman.
Yeah.
The OnlyFans girl, he spends 50 racks just to keep her up.
I don't know about that. I don't know about the
No, I think-
that-
I forget.
don't
I think
know
it's more
about
than
that.
50
But,
racks.
A month?
He moved
Yeah.
her in. He moved her in, and the.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you can show us what she looks like. I would like to see what you're talking about.
Oh,
The
God,
picture,
she-
you don't want to see what she looks
No,
like?
no. I saw what she looks like. I was like,
Which is this person here? Show the camera first, Daniel B.
Mariah Mills, right?
she's not. Listen. She, listen.
Wait. Which one is this? This
They're,
is
they're
the-
all the same one. Because that's just ridiculous. Listen.
Wait. Who is this one?
They're all
That's
the same
her.
one.
That's her.
They're all the same person.
This is all the
This
same.
is all the porn
I'm saying,
stars. No,
which
the
girl?
porn
Which
practitioner.
girl?
The porn practitioner.
This is the
The
one who
baby,
does
mo-
porn.
Oh, no, that's the baby.
Yes, that's the one who does porn. No.
Yeah, the porn practitioner.
Zion Williams' pregnant girlfriend. I can't have female friends because 110.
All right. So it's fun. Well,
Mariah
Daniel,
Mills.
tell me, just from
My
looking at her.
God.
Her name's Mariah Mills. Just from looking at her, what do you think?
I mean,
Just your first thoughts. No, nothing. Just your pure animalistic thoughts. I'm not actually. Don't talk to the beauty of women. Just speak to how attracted animalistically are you?
oh, I'm totally not attracted to her.
Not attracted.
Not
All right,
attracted
can you
to
tell
her.
me why you're not attracted to her?
She's very. It looks like she paid a lot for that body.
Right.
And she's very big. I'm not
She's
a
real
big guy.
plastic. She's very
Exactly.
plastic.
Like it's a lot going on. A little too much for me.
I'm actually. I'm surprised. I don't want Elvis. You have an opinion?
I think she's like a plastic right now. She has the look of many girls in Harlem, many girls all around
No, she look
Miami.
like she could be on King magazine.
I don't. All right. No. I think she's a little too lowbrow for King. But all right. So I guess I went past. I said my opinion.
Let me
I
let
think
the people see. This is the woman here. And this is the woman who does the OnlyFans.
It's not even that. I think she just looks silly.
What's
Like,
up
she
with
just
that
doesn't
booty? It's so brolic. Bow loud, ta da da
Look,
da.
I remember thinking.
She's a very voluptuous woman.
I remember thinking, Zion, you're a freaking millionaire. That you could get any woman. Get a normie. What?
Wait, no whispering. Ooh, look at this one.
Wait, I don't even know who is Drake. I don't even know who Drake's dating.
Well, baby mother was a porn star. Well, like a.
Well, you have to understand, a lot of these men, they have money, but they still beta.
Yeah,
And
there's
they
something
pedestal
weird about
these
it.
women. They see these women, and these women are fantasy because they're part of the right now. Right now, these women are the look that we're getting right now. You got that thin waist, you got that voluptuous ass that's huge, and then you have the hair that's lace front, and then the lips are overdone. It's
kind of doofy. It looks like clownish.
I don't care for it. This is just the look for right now. And my first thoughts when I see a woman like that is,
Do you want to read the text message she's using?
these are her text messages.
Oh, good pull.
Yeah,
Good
I hate
pull,
this.
man.
I'm really upset. And then I guess he says, so why are you posting all this social media? Question mark, question mark. Delete that stuff. Because you kissed her. And that's your girlfriend. You lied to me. Delete everything and we'll talk. But come on.
Wait, who's who?
This is him right here. Well, she says, that's your girlfriend, you lied to me. He just keeps saying, delete all that stuff, delete everything you've been posting. And now now she says, you ruined my life. The OnlyFans life is ruined. Ain't that a bit?
That's not
You
true.
lied to me all the time. You have a baby. Go be a father. Now she's telling him and dismissing him. She's sunning him on text. Oh my God.
No,
You're not
no.
my king no more. And then he says,
No,
so
she
why
don't
would-
sound like she sent him. That just sounds like she hurt. You're not my king no more.
Yeah, what about this
That's
part?
some-
You
that's-
lied to me all the time. You ruined my life. You
That-
have a baby. Go be a father.
That sounds like hurt. That's not sonning
Right,
because
right,
there's no
right.
confidence
I
in
can see
that.
that. So she's upset. She's texting and she's putting the text messages publicly. I mean, I think that's kind of tacky.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting to me? No, I don't want to read any more of that stuff. I get it. What's so interesting to me is that we have these women that they have the build about. Wait! I want to see the girlfriend. I want to see the picture of the
You know, they
girlfriend.
kind of don't look that dissimilar. They kind of just have that odd kind of
that
similar.
girlfriend is smaller than her.
Wait a minute. These look like the same women.
Yeah, I told. See, they
Yo,
don't look
and
that
this
odd.
woman got the Jamaican Haitian face.
Well, she looks more human than the other one.
That's what it is.
Yeah, this one looks a little.
And look
just
how
has a
happy
more,
he
She has a
is.
more unique face.
Look at how happy he is. He's like, Mama, I done
Yeah,
made
that's his
it.
first child. I'd be happy.
Look at him. He is shining. Shining so bright. And look at her.
See, first child, the kind of thing that makes. You
I
stop
mean, she
cheating.
got a chin. Her chin is a little too handsome for me. I like a more rounder face. You know, I'm like Ray J. Give me a rounder face. I'm not into all
You
that.
talking about princess?
I love a round face. Yeah, Princess is beautiful. What are you talking about? You doubt that? You deny that Princess is beautiful?
I don't know what beautiful is.
But one
anymore.
thing
I know
we
what
talk-
I'm-
but
I know
Princess
what
is
I'm
attractive.
I know what I'm attracted
Princess
to.
looks like a female.
I'm attracted to her. I'm attracted to Princess. I don't know what's beautiful. I know
This
what's
one here,
beautiful
she got the
about
crazy jaw. I'm not
But-
into a woman
but-
with that chin. I don't like that masculine chin. She got that real Haitian. Nothing. And I dated Haitian women, but she has a very masculine face, very handsome face. So
But
I'm not.
let me
I
just say
think
this.
one is a plastic Barbie doll,
This is
and the
worst
other one is a
compliment you
little
could
too
ever give to a
masculine.
woman.
Yeah,
Yo, you
yeah.
have a really handsome face.
Yeah, a very handsome face.
Well, let me just say one thing. We also have to remember this man is 22 years old.
Oh, he's a baby.
Exactly.
He's a baby.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I
And
mean,
he-
I
and
was never.
And
I
he's
was
not.
never
And
talking
he's
about
not
that.
wearing a condom.
I was never. I understand how you get caught up like that. I'm not shocked that he got caught up like that.
He got
I think,
new money, he got new fame, and he's
I think the
22
point of
years
the
old,
debate-
he's acting like a 22.
I think the point of the conversation was what this
Come on, I'm
woman.
gonna move over this way
Yeah.
a little bit. Daniel B, come on.
I think the point of conversation pertaining to the Zion Williamson topic is not even about Zion Williamson. It's like, what did this woman, first of all, think dating this NBA player? What place did she think that she had? In the time that she's not seeing him, I don't know, did she not think that he was spending time elsewhere? I think that what's more interesting in this whole topic is the pathology of these women than the Zion Wilson, the rich person making mistakes again, two women. Do you not understand?
Is there a question? What's the question?
The question, I think no, I'm talking about the point of topic because we're not talking. I'm saying what can be discussed about this topic specifically, what the topic of discussion would be for this topic, and
Where we parlay
I
in
think
this
what's
too, like, I get it.
yeah, and I think so I think what's fascinating is the lady. One thinking that this is her way of getting revenge. Does that speak? This is her way of getting revenge or showing him who's boss. And was she really that misled? Did she really not know who she was? Not because she's a porn practitioner, and this was an NBA player who had access to all these people. Did she really think that she was the one? I think
Let me hear what Daniel B got.
Mm. If you feeding someone that, and you sit there and so, let me tell you, if a woman sits there and says, I love you, I want to be with you, you're all that, I'm going to fly you out, I want you to move your whole life, I'm going to give you this exorbitant amount of money so you don't have to do anything and just be mine, I would think I'm the one.
You would think she'd be more hardened as a porn practitioner.
No,
like
because she probably
she'd
felt
be-
this is You know, you could.
Has
That's
she never
what,
been played before?
this
Has
is,
she
but
never
that was
been
her
hurt?
occupation. But you know, not with someone she loved. Maybe someone in business. or
Whoa,
whatever
you
case.
saying that this woman loves this
Maybe,
man?
maybe.
Of course, what? That goes without saying. That she loves Zion Wilson. This
She
amount
gains-
of
'cause she
hurt.
gains
This
something
amount of
for
hurt
this,
that she
yeah.
has.
Can I
This
say
is not
this?
pettiness, because
Can I-
pettiness would be with the lawyer. This is just like hurt. This is just, she's like on
Exactly.
social media.
Yep.
This is not her like serving
She's
him.
lashing out.
Like, yeah, yeah. This is like
How old is
straight
she
love.
though?
This is-
That's a question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know what I say to this? I'm so happy this is happening to her.
the poor practitioner.
Yeah, the OnlyFans girl don't get to win.
Well, you know what? You don't want her to.
The OnlyFans girl don't get to win. The OnlyFans girl that's doing pornography with her iPhone 55, all the way from iPhone 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to iPhone 55. All of y'all out there, you don't deserve to win. You deserve to fail. You deserve to have a horrible life. Because
Jeez
there are
Louise.
women out there that are not doing that. And they're the ones that should be praised and given credit to. Not the chick with the only. Well, I mean, depends on what the OnlyFans is now. There's different
No,
OnlyFans. They got girls that do OnlyFans, and it's literally like the same thing they got on Instagram. Same style pictures and everything. They don't graduate into doing anything.
I
and they
disagree. I disagree with
no,
that.
Can I hold on
completely. Go
for
ahead.
1 second? And what they do is they advertise their OnlyFans. And they put their OnlyFans, they advertise their OnlyFans to get people to buy into their OnlyFans. And they're not showing anything. I respect those women. But if you're an OnlyFans girl who starts off with your feet and then you end up inserting toys in you, and now you're calling up your boyfriend, and then you graduate from toes to toys to boyfriend, and now to random guys in bars, I got no respect for you. Not even a little bit. I want you to fail in life. I think that there's another row of women that are better and deserve, which I don't really believe most people deserve anything. You have to earn things. And I think that there's a group of women that can earn at least my respect. And my respect is what? What is that worth? Not much. Right? What do you care? I'm just a spoke on a wheel over here. But let me tell you this. You on OnlyFans? You don't get to do. Wait.
I didn't even say
Not OnlyFans. Not OnlyFans. If you are part of that sector of OnlyFans that she's part of,
Yeah.
I don't want you to win. I want you to be old and alone, and I want you hanging yourself in the bathroom at 48 years old.
That's freaking insane, man. You're a
Disclaimer,
maniac.
I do not agree with this. By no means do I agree with this.
That's what I want. I want to see more hangings.
What a thing to say.
I want you to go into that bathroom, and I want you to kick.
If you ever want
I want you to kick that bucket from underneath that thing you're standing on, and just express yourself.
talk
and let that
about
go.
wanting a more successful channel.
Because it's laziness, it's selfishness, and the nerve of this woman to not know her place. But in her defense, she is saying in the text message that he lies to her. So what we have is a beta man. We got a beta man who's lying to these chicks, talking about he love them and putting
What
them up in places.
Is
Come on, what are you
a
doing?
beta man.
What's a beta man? A beta man is a man who lies to a woman and don't tell her the truth.
Yeah,
A beta man
then I
is
have
a
to be-
man
Then I
who's-
have to be a beta,
Yeah,
because I'd be
yeah.
lying to.
Yeah. You're not supposed to lie to women. You're supposed to tell them the truth. You're supposed to, Rick, you're supposed to tell a woman when you meet her, listen, I just want to tell you, we can have a good time, but I cannot get serious with a woman for the next 5 years. I'm just getting over a relationship, and I'm young, and my career is at a certain level, so we can have a lot of fun, but I want you to know this. My phone will be ringing. I will be seeing other people.
Yeah, but
and
I
there
do
will
that
be-
with my actions.
No. If you said that,
I don't have to tell.
you get more respect for
No,
that.
they're just gonna see it happen.
No,
I wonder why you never.
Women
teach
don't
me.
want to be lied to.
I don't.
Women want, well, actually, women do want to be lied to.
Yes,
But
yeah.
women do want to be lied to, but you got to tell the women the truth. You got to tell women the truth. You got to let a woman know, listen, if 2 weeks go by, there's a good chance. If you ain't going down on me and it's day 15, there's a good chance that I'm going to go get quenched. You got to tell a woman that. You got to be honest. You got to tell a woman that, listen, If you think that it's okay for us to have sex once a month, then I'm going to see other people. You have to tell the truth to these women. You cannot tell these women you love them and that it's only about me and you and I don't see nobody else but you and this and that's beta.
No, I don't say all that. No, that's sweet.
Beta.
No. Sweet talking. You're lying and sweet talk. That's very different thing. Sweet talking and telling them, oh, you're the best, you're the one. That maybe that's more because that's just trying to compliment them in order to gain the mean. That's like being manipulative. That's weird. But when I say, when I come home at maybe 5 in the morning, you say, did you hook up with anybody? I say, no. And then I lie in that way.
They're not gonna, if you tell them the truth from the beginning, they're not going to ask you that.
But I like,
when you come home, listen to me. If you tell a woman, there's a good chance that if I'm in a bar, right, and I'm not speaking for myself right now because I'm not like that. I'm not the guy who's going to go to a bar, meet a chick, pull out my Johnson and get serviced. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have random sex with a chick. Okay? That's not my thing. But I'm saying you should tell your woman, listen, it's a good chance that if I'm at the bar and I'm hanging out and I'm feeling the energy, because that's chemistry. You meet a woman, there's certain bells be popping, you meet a person. You start talking, conversing with them, next thing you know, you at her house smashing. You don't get home until 6 in the morning. You gotta tell your woman the truth, man. You gotta say these things could happen. These things could possibly happen. I'm not disrespecting you. I don't not now love you less. But I'm the kind of guy that I'm the kind of person that You gotta tell these women the truth. So if Zion is lying to these chicks, he's a fucking clown. He's beta.
Well, can I say one thing? Can we look at the comments? People that had a good question.
Go ahead. Read it.
I don't know how to do it.
You just slide it. Slowly slide it. Yeah, like that. Up and down.
If Zion was your son, how would you counsel him after this PR nightmare?
I would have talked to him before this happens. And let me tell you, my son is going to be 6'6", 6'7", 6'8". He's going to be that tall. My wife is 6'4", I'm 6'2". My son is going to be tall and he's into sports. I will have this talk with my son long time ago. My son wouldn't be making these mistakes. Does Zion have a father? That's what I want to know. Let's Google that.
He does.
He does? Yeah. His father's in his life?
Well,
his father failed him. Because his father didn't tell him, yo, son, whatever you do, don't lie to these chicks. Whatever you do. And have them sign NDAs. Have them sign NDAs. Have them sign consent forms and NDAs. They can't talk about you. They can't be on the phone. If you ain't got, my son don't have the heart to step to his chick, not a problem. We'll have an attorney that'll do it. No problem, son.
But
Zion's father has failed him.
That's an interesting point you made about the NDAs because I didn't think about this whole thing because this kind of
how you ain't got how Country Wayne got everybody signing NDAs but Zion don't.
He probably really was trusting and like just didn't.
Yeah, he's 22 years old.
Except for Sarah. Country Wayne didn't get Sarah to sign her NDA and she was gonna write a book on him. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's a whole little series I'm watching. Something light. 3 minutes. 3 minutes at a time is grabbing my attention. But anyway, go ahead.
I forgot where we stopped.
We stopped at Zion's father and whether or not his father was in his life.
I don't know about Zion. So, the question I think the person asked was, how would the advice you give him as a father, like after? So after
Daniel
this,
B, what you say?
I say, I would just say, you know what, this happened. How do you make? I don't want to say man up. I hate using that word. How do you handle it? I would try to tell them, let's find a way to handle this properly, where it's less hurt, and everyone is, no one's gonna ever be happy. Not everyone's gonna be happy. But how to reconcile this, especially with the woman who is bearing a child, and also the woman you hurt. What could you do? That's how I would start. What could we do to rectify this?
Wait a minute, you're asking a question though. What would you do?
No, I would just sit there and sit there with my son. Okay,
that's what you say at the end.
I would say this to my son, we have to find a way to rectify this. Or you have to find a way to rectify this to try to please all parties as much as possible, because no one's ever going to fully be pleased. Mm-hmm. But to sit there and say, you know what, this is the mother of your child. She takes priority.
Yeah. I was going to say, you don't have to. The lady that outed you. That's not a party you have to please at all. She doesn't have anything, but she has no legal.
No,
she has no legal. She has no legality. So she doesn't even have to be.
No,
she
she's
never has to
hurt.
be spoke to. You don't need to dress her because she's hurt. But then come on.
No, if
But-
you cause that hurt, that's being a man.
No,
Saying,
you hurt
I
your
caused
baby's
some-
mother. No, you hurt your baby's mother. That's
You
who
hurt
you
both
hurt. You hurt the
women.
woman you impregnated. No, you. Listen, you lied to this woman, sure, but I don't think you don't need to apologize. You don't even need to talk to her again.
She gotta find a new
can
place
be
to
dead
live
to
now.
you. Yeah.
You was financing her life.
You don't need to talk to her again. I'm not saying if she was financially dependent on you, I think maybe there's the potential where you can move her out, where you maybe you can pay for movers, but you don't know anything. But you do have to see if you can try your best to make things right with your baby's mother, because that's who has leverage on you. That's who can hurt you in all this more than anybody. Because if this moves forward, especially with the publicity of this, she can get you for everything. She has your baby. She has the bag, or if you will. So she
Have
has
a baby by me, be a millionaire. Have a 50 cents at that.
so that's who you need to. That's who you need. You don't need to. This girl, you hurt her.
But no,
Come on,
it's-
come on.
Well, let me just say
She
this.
should be
Talk-
dead to you.
Can you
right-
talk from
she
a
should be
PR
dead to you
point of
right
view,
now.
Daniel? If you were the PR involved in Zion right now, what would you do?
Say
Because you know a
nothing.
lot about that.
Say nothing. I would tell them, don't say anything. Don't respond back to this young lady.
You just said you have to.
Hold on, no, this is the PR.
PR.
Not father, PR.
Oh, sorry, fair enough.
Don't say anything. Let's deal with your daughter's mother. Let's pay her, give her some money, set everything up for this child so that she knows that she's secure no matter what. And let's get her to sign this NDA so that she won't respond to anything that's happening. And in that case, she gets a trust and all the rest of this. This is what we're going to do to, that.
Wait, you talking about giving her a trust? The
Give her money,
OnlyFans?
yes.
The-
No,
pay-
so his mother.
Oh, the mother, the up and coming mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's signing an NDA.
Yeah. You're getting her to sign an NDA.
So the
Yeah, why would she sign
OnlyFans
that
girl,
NDA?
you're not even speaking to her
at all. Nothing else is saying. Let her live her life, whatever the case is.
But if he's truly beta, like I have been suggesting, he's gonna continue to smash.
That's what your PR is what I would thought just normally.
That's
socially.
exactly.
That's just my.
No, but to me as a father, and just like.
What about you, PR, Ulrich? What do you think in public relations aspects? How would you handle this?
I don't know, man. PR is hard for me, man. That'd be tough to answer. But I would assume that I would say don't keep any further contact with this young lady. She has no leverage over you.
Right.
So you don't have to make any negotiations or you don't have to you don't have to appease anything to her or make any concessions towards her. But I would say if you're as a PR person, do everything in your best interest to keep the baby moms happy. And literally, the same thing I would have been my normal way. Do the exact same thing you would do. PR wise, the same thing I would do normally because that's a lot. The mother of your kid, that's next level, man.
But
that's a lot.
I hate to say this. Hold on. I hate to say this, but
He pick them.
let me tell you, a PR person would sit there and also say, take a whole bunch of pictures with your daughter's, your child's mother.
They had a video together.
Yeah,
so I
but
think
no,
that
but
helps.
even
That
more.
helps. No,
Let's show that you guys show the public that you're happy and everything else, and that this other woman is just a scorned woman who's very vindictive.
Oh, wait. I just thought, is it possible that this video was released preemptively because they were starting to be threatening, this lady was starting to threaten about outing Zion, and he wanted to show his solidarity?
But no, I think
because
she,
that
I
was
think
so
she didn't
random.
know. I think she didn't know. That's why
No,
she was
no,
surprised when she
that's-
seen the photo in the video.
No. What I'm saying, no, she can know of it, but not put the video put her over the top.
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? Or but Zion had to know if he was lying to her the whole time, and he put something on social media. What was he not? Did she
But
not
this
follow
wasn't a
Zion?
long-term relationship. This wasn't a
No. But if he loved her enough to move her, if he alluded to the porn practitioner that he loved her, or he was so into her that he begged her to move with her, and he's financing her living with him, then I don't understand how she wouldn't have known that she would be upset that she's releasing him. That's why I don't know if Zion did this to be petty.
He probably had
Two
her.
lives. She's a famous
No,
basketball
he's
player.
a famous basketball player, but remember, he probably kept the child's parent, very quiet. She's,
No,
regular
but
stuff.
he released
But
it on social media. Like it's
did
there's
she
no way.
release it or she released it?
No, it was
It was like team effort.
Yeah, it was. There was no.
It was like their
there was
video.
absolutely no
It was,
way that
it was like
he
look
could've
at us
assumed-
and how happy we
like,
are.
that's what I'm saying. I can't imagine what Zion was think. Like I think maybe Zion didn't assume. Maybe Zion was saying, putting his foot down, and saying, this is who I pick." She's like, "It's either her or me. I'm not doing this anymore." And then he releases this video or something like that.
I think
and
it's-
then this was her counterattack.
Right.
Is that I would be shocked if that. I'd be shocked at the prospect that video was actually the first time. Because Zion can't be that silly. Zion just.
I look
I
at his
think
face
at
is kind of silly.
I
though.
think
That
at 20,
smile
I think at
and that
22 he didn't give it
ill-fitting
that much
outfit he
thought.
had on.
No, he didn't get the original thing that much thought, but I think he gave I think he gave this one the wrong thought. In other words, I don't think he gave the fucking and moving a woman in. How do you move? I don't understand paying for women to move in. That's insane.
Well, you're not making that kind of cash. You got
Yeah,
$1 that's nothing to you.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
even
but-
thinking
yeah,
of it.
but- yeah,
That could be a night at a club. What he's giving her a
Yeah,
month
but-
could just be a night at a
Yeah,
bar
but
at a
yeah,
club.
but this. But the ultimate point is that I don't want women to be. I don't like to have that many women yapping at me in general. Like like the other people
maybe
we know
she
who have
wasn't.
women in rotation and they like to chat women up. Like they like to have I've never I love being with women, but I don't like to chat them up. That sounds really messed up. I don't like to.
Everybody's looking at the show like, just Danny B just keeps going like this.
I don't mean I don't like to have conversation. But I don't like to. I don't need to talk to a woman like on a regular basis. But I do like the physical touch of a woman somewhat regularity.
Well, he likes to spit in chicks' mouth.
But that's
Maybe
what-
the child's parent doesn't want to do that.
I don't know.
He could
But
be. She's a porn star. He could do whatever he wants.
You can do whatever you want to any woman. Really,
That's-
she
that's
loves you.
not
If she
true.
loves you.
Once
She
you have
loves
children with women, certain things you ain't trying to do.
No. I'm saying you can present. If a woman loves you, she'll be open to it. Probably.
Yeah, but you don't want to. Certain things you don't want to do with your children's mother.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even like to do. I don't like the theatrics and I'm like spitting in women. I don't understand that stuff. I don't even. If you're going past choking, that I don't even understand slapping. It's like too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was the second segment. What's the third segment, y'all? What we talking
Third
about?
All right, you
segment,
see
I
how
gotta
that?
pee.
You see how
I
that?
gotta go pee.
All right, then you got to use the bathroom again. Sober Daniel who never did drugs. Got to take 3 pee breaks. Right.
How are you insinuating? It's cold as ice. Now, not on Premium Black News. We're drug free.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Marijuana's not a drug. It is.
See,
People dispute that. There's a lot of arguments on that.
marijuana's definitely a drug.
Definitely a drug.
It's definitely a drug. I don't know
Definitely a
what it's
drug.
like. I don't know
If
what
I
it's
don't
like.
have it for 3 days, you're gonna have an attitudey me. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be irritatable. I'm not gonna be nice. I'm not gonna be nice. Did you hear about this whole thing with the aliens?
I did. You sent me a video about it. I saw it. I took a look at it.
What do you think
Well,
about
we're
these
gonna have-
alien things?
Yeah.
I think we should talk about it for a few minutes.
Yeah, why not? So, so the video you sent me, can I talk a little about it, or you want to talk? You want
Let's
to
wait for
present it?
Daniel B. I guess.
Yeah. But you don't know everyone this time, so maybe I'll just introduce it.
Right. Go ahead.
So there was a top level government official.
No. You going to that thing that I sent you. We're not going to talk about that yet.
Oh, I thought that's what
We're
you were
talking about the aliens. Dude, you don't know about the aliens that landed in Nevada in that ranch style backyard?
There's a new alien thing.
You don't know about this?
Oh God, I don't even know. There's an alien thing happening. Every time I hear alien everything, the only thing that comes to my mind is this is some contrived military crap that's gonna that's gonna lead us into a terrible policy out of our fears of that said thing. That's all so every time, that's what scares me about aliens. It's not when I hear alien stuff, it actually disturbs me to a point where I literally don't think, oh no, these monsters are going to come get me. I said, this is some military nonsense, and we're about to have some kind of version of a lockdown or something nonsensical where our rights are going to be taken away based on the hysteria of that. So that's why anytime I hear it, I almost tune alien stuff out specifically. Yeah.
Makes sense. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. But let me just say this to you. Do you notice an uptake of alien stuff on the feeds and out there in the verse?
Not really. That time when there was that flying ship, that crazy wild thing that was flying against the wind, all fast, crazy.
Right,
and I said that during that time there was a lot of that. But after that,
let me move over an inch.
Yeah.
Come on, Daniel B. Are you aware of what's going on with the aliens that landed in Nevada?
Yes.
And in Nevada, sorry.
Yes.
I need to quench.
I
need to quench my palate.
But did you hear what was supposed to happen?
No.
They were actually supposed to be.
I need to wash your hands, right?
Yeah, but I need a fork.
Hey, okay. Alright, so what you got there, Alice? What you snacking on? Premium Black News not perpetuating any stereotypes.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, keep it in there. Just put all of it in there. Here's a fork.
Nah. Oh yeah, that would be nicer, right? And my Ziploc, and then this is my Great Value Ziploc. This barely works. The zipper sucks. This Great Value crap.
Hey, don't knock them. They could have been one of our advertisers.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
Hey, Great Value.
so
You sure have
classy,
great
man.
value.
Look how classy Daniel is.
So after you insulted one of our potential advertisers, what were we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
All right, so I feel.
Wait a minute. You don't eat watermelon?
I don't like it. Oh God, here we go.
No, I'm just saying. If you don't like watermelon, that's all right. Your mother did a hell of a job when you were.
Of course, I'm
Your
offended
mother
that you said whoa.
Your mother did a
That-
hell
that's
of a
it's
job when you
racist
were.
that you said whoa. My mother loves watermelon. But my mother absolutely thinks it's delicious.
Your mother's like, this is what your father used to eat.
Unbelievable.
All right, I don't want none of that.
I don't like melons in general because they're so watery to the point where it's almost like it makes you want to get
All right,
nauseous.
it's watery. You're supposed to. That's the part where you swallow.
Anyways.
You don't let the water just fall down out of your mouth. Oh,
Whoa.
Hey, yo,
Whoa,
pause.
whoa, whoa.
Hey, yo, pause. Hey, yo, pause, son. Pause. All right. You'll play that over here. Premium Black News, all right? All right. Hey,
Oh my god!
all right. Well,
All right.
No, but-
So,
yeah.
all right. This week, there was a police officer talking to a suspect, right? And in the background of his body camera, you can see a light coming down out of the sky. And then, a few blocks from there, there was this ring camera that caught a huge thud and a huge, not explosion sound, but more of a thudding sound. And then we get a 911 call from a young man who sounds like he's Hispanic, Mexican, Ecuadorian, like South American Hispanic, you know, like with his vernacular and his cadence and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he sounded young, and he sounded like he was very matter of fact.
Yeah.
He wasn't very scared, but he said, listen, there was a crash in my backyard. Two things came out of what we think is like a ship. And not only do we think it's a ship, it's like 8 foot, 9 foot, 10 foot tall beings with big eyes and big mouths. And when we looked at them, everything was blurry. But when I looked over to the side, it was clear. It was only blurry where the ship and where they were standing. But they're 100% not human, and could you please have someone come to? So I did a little research. They say that there's like 10,000 of these calls all the time, and they almost never send the cops out. But this time they sent the cops out. The cops come out, they laughed and joked about it, but on the ground itself was this circle on the ground, which they're saying is part of that thud sound, where something slammed into the earth from up out of space, and aliens came out of the ship. And whenever and then he also suffered from like sleep paralysis. But when he looked the alien in the eye, he was totally frozen and couldn't move. And they have the video of the kid just standing there and the father just standing there, and like, there's the lady, she's like, oh my God, and you really can't see. She's like trying to tell you, look, it's right there, but you couldn't see anything. It was like darkness, all that blurriness, which is like their camouflage, so to speak. So just imagine you're alien and you're walking by, and anytime somebody see it's just blurry. They can't, like, huh? What's that over there? It's
like
like
me out a little.
Yeah. So this is what happened this week. Have you heard any of this stuff, Daniel B?
Just gotta say one thing. Hold on a second. I want you guys to look at this real quick.
Right.
Some Men in Black stuff. You're gonna make me forget.
Yeah, I'm not into this.
You're not into it. So if you see this, you just dismiss this. Like, all right, what's on channel 3?
I see
on
it.
Channel 9.
It's the Egyptian brothers flying around in ships.
Egyptian brothers? Oh, you talking about like from Stargate
Something
with Russell
like
Crowe?
Yeah.
Remember that? You ever watched that Stargate?
No, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But brothers that made the pyramid that we still don't know how or what. I think possibly my peoples is up there flying around. So that's what it is.
You think it's possible there is aliens? Were you saying or no?
Yeah, I mean, it may be
Wait a
something
minute. You
like
just
that.
say you just don't even listen.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me. It's
No,
like,
if
they flying around-
if there's racial spirituality attached to it, then you like down with it.
Whoa, don't speak for Daniel.
No, I agree with him.
What?
If there's some black aliens, I'm with it. Let's roll. Let's rock.
If there's some black aliens.
I'm just joking.
No, he's not joking.
I'm just joking.
Like, he's serious.
I'm just joking.
So, right now, if we were to like type up how many alien stories are out there from right now, 2023 versus, let's say, 2010 or 2004 or 2013, it is gone up significantly. And now we have the Pentagon claiming so many things are alien. There's a lot going on in that world where even now the government, where before the government would never answer any questions. It was always like nothing to see here. Now the government and the news is constantly talking about these things more so than ever before.
Because hysteria used to be harmful. Now hysteria is useful.
Well,
Is it useful for what?
It's useful. Well, look at the COVID hysteria. Look how it's useful to. No, it's useful to. Not. I don't want to talk about herd people into a way of thinking, but literally herd people into their homes, so they can move. And it's useful for any policy that can be beneficial to others and not the masses.
Right.
So so I think that kind of hysteria could be useful, and all of a sudden you're going to hear that there's a new the Aliens Act or the Anti-Aliens Act, where people are only allowed to use so much energy or so much to keep their lights on so this amount of time, because it's actually causing alien life to be drawn to us. So now we can't do things like keep our lights on. I'm saying I'm talking through, but I'm saying legislation that is not actually helpful, just legislation that makes us more uncomfortable.
Well, I'm gonna say this. As opposed to, it's very rare, from what I understand, that you could ask a pilot, have they seen something fly right by them?
Right.
And without them saying, what just happened?
No, just
Oh, it's without them saying.
No, that was an alien. You act a pilot, you sir.
Yeah. I thought it was the government that y'all talking about. I was like, I don't have my Men in Black outfit. But no, that they have seen, many pilots have seen, that I've spoken to, have seen something that's abnormal that has flown past them at the speed.
What pilots are you speaking to?
Airline pilots.
So you just like at the airport and say,
No, I was
let me
talking
ask
to
you
a couple
question.
of. I was talking to a couple of pilots, and this was a long time ago, and it was like 3 of them, and I don't know how the conversation happened. I don't know how it came up, but they did mention that they did, see something, that flew by them. And the other was just
An unidentified flying object.
Yeah, so they have seen a UFO.
Okay.
So, and like it's a possibility. I
Yeah,
mean,
that just means unidentified, though. Doesn't necessarily mean it came from space.
Yeah.
Can you go to the thing that I sent you earlier in the week and put it on the big TV? Because I just think that this is something that is going to be our new normal. Our new normal is going to be alien sightings. I'm not saying alien abductions, but it's going to be regular conversation. Daniel B is going to play what I sent them a couple of days ago. Because I kind of wanted to talk about this.
Elizabeth Vargas reports.
We're going to take a look-see at this.
UFOs exist. The U.S. government found quite a number of them, and they are indeed of non-human origin. Those are the explosive allegations from a former intelligence officer tonight in a whistleblower complaint that the Inspector General is taking very seriously. 36-year-old Air Force veteran David Grush is exposing what he calls a top-secret military program that has reportedly found wreckage of fully intact UFOs. The government now calls them UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. For years, there have been whispers and rumors that the government had aircraft of non-human origin. This report is the first evidence it might be true. The Inspector General has called Grush's complaint urgent and credible. Tonight, we have a World Television exclusive interview with the whistleblower in which he claims we not only have the aircraft, but the government has been keeping much of its secret from Congress and from the public. News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Edgen is here with the story, and this is a blockbuster.
It is a blockbuster. It's really hard to wrap your mind around this. I've been working on this for the past couple of weeks. I'm still having a hard time processing all of it.
No, you
Over
can
the
sit
last
down on
couple of
that.
years, it sort of became mainstream to discuss UFOs. The government has released videos. They've acknowledged that we don't know what some of this stuff is out there that we have on camera, but this really takes it all to another level. For the very first time, the world is about to hear from a former high-level U.S. intelligence officer who says the government has some of the unidentified craft in its possession. He is revealing these exclusive details about the secret government program.
Possibly. That's old footage.
We have all seen these blurry videos of unidentified flying objects. Video evidence, if you will, that old tales of UFOs may not all be conspiracy theories. In recent years, Congress started an official U.S. government Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. And now in a News Nation exclusive, David Grush, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force, and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the U.S. defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
Grush sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived, it was a ruse, people started confiding in me, they approached me. I have plenty of current former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was in fact a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General. NewsNation has confirmed David Grush's credentials and resume. We've not seen or verified the alleged proof he says he's provided to investigators. He says he can't show us the proof for national security reasons. He also tells us he's not seen photos of the alleged craft himself, but has talked extensively with other intelligence officials who have.
If you're right, if you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of?
Well,
not
naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead bodies. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
It's also harder for people to wrap their minds around the concept of a crashed object from somewhere else. It's easier to accept that, yeah, we see things in the sky that we can't explain.
Journalist Leslie Kean broke Grush's whistleblower story this morning in the debrief. Ms. Kean's career has been mainstream and credible, having written a series of reports on UFOs in the New York Times dating back to 2017. He has the credentials, but there's no documents that he's handed over. There's no pictures. As a journalist, you want to see documents, you want to see pictures. Does that raise a red flag?
Not at all, Brian. I mean, you mean documents that actually describe the craft?
Correct, yeah, like
Yeah.
documents, or to be able to see it for ourselves.
Of course, don't we all want that? And the problem with that is all of that information is classified. You know, as we said in the story, everything that Grush told Congress and told the Inspector General of both the IC, the Intelligence Community Inspector General, and the Department of Defense Inspector General, all of that information is classified.
In 2017, Kean reported exclusively in the New York Times that the Pentagon had a secret UFO program. 3 years later, the Pentagon confirmed her story. Her latest report is even more explosive, but Kean says she has multiple sources who back up Grush's story.
I believe it because of all the sources I have who have told me the same thing. So who am I to doubt these very, very high-level people who have been inside these programs for decades, have done their work, and are all telling me the same thing? I mean, I don't think there's some kind of conspiracy among all these people who don't know each other to make something like this up.
So I've got to be blunt about this. You're not making this up. This is
No.
not a lie.
No, absolutely not.
So we got a guy who's working.
You gotta pause.
We got a guy who's working for an agency. I think there's like only a couple of minutes left.
Because everybody watching this right
Move for less.
We got a guy who's working for an agency who's saying you're not allowing me to do my job. I need this information, and you're not giving me the information. The U.S. government is shutting me down. Can I do my job? So he has a whole lawsuit or whatever
Well, I think it's
against. Yeah.
no, I think it's a whistleblower thing where he's saying this information isn't being put out.
No, he's saying that his task force, he works for a whole separate organization. They done gave him an acronym.
No, he used to work for that. He no longer
Yeah,
works
he no
for
longer
them.
works for
I know, that's what I'm saying. But while he was working for them, they wouldn't allow him any information. All his information is hearsay, and from what he's been told. And every time he tries to get, in other words, they create these jobs for these people that are not allowed to fully work. Well, let's just get the last, only like 2 minutes left.
But they're
is looking at your face. They're going, is this guy for real?
I am for real. And I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
And just within the last 10 minutes or so, the Pentagon has released a statement to News Nation about this report. They say to date, AARO has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. AARO is committed to following the data and its investigation wherever it leads. AARO, working with the Office of the General Counsel and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, has established a safe and secure process for individuals to come forward with information to aid AARO in its congressionally mandated historical review. AARO's historical review of records and testimonies is ongoing and due to Congress by June 2024, and AARO welcomes the opportunity to speak with any former or current employee or contractor who believes they have information relevant to this historical review. And Elizabeth, we know that David Grush's filed that whistleblower complaint. He's been on the record under oath testifying to many of these things that he said in our report tonight.
Right, and it's important to point out that this statement from the Pentagon from AARO, Grush is alleging that this top secret program is keeping the secret from AARO. So,
Yeah, exactly. If Grush is, if what he's saying
That's
is
what I was trying
true, the spokespeople, all of those folks at that level wouldn't even know this was going on anyway.
I gotta ask you, he has a compelling story to tell. Very little of it seems like first-hand knowledge. Isn't he just repeating what somebody else has told him or somebody else has showed him?
Yes, that is what he's doing, but he says he's talked to a number of people who are in very, very high-level positions. He also had basically the highest level of classified material information that he was able to receive. We went back and checked over, his history, all of his credentials, check out completely. Unfortunately,
In addition, a couple people have come forward publicly to vouch for him, people who are high-ranking.
They have, and this article first came out this morning, and I think it's interesting that, there hasn't been any sort of effort to discredit what he has said, either from the Defense Department.
So interesting. So what happens, and have we had any reaction, by the way, from members of Congress who have been taking this seriously in the last couple of years? We've seen congressional hearings, we've seen NASA's hearing just about a week ago on UFOs or UAPs, whatever you prefer to call them. We've seen the DNI give a briefing to the White House on this. We've been hearing whispers and rumors for years. I remember even former President Trump, when he was in office, sort of saying, "Oh my gosh, if you knew what I knew about UFOs."
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, I
always
remember
been
that.
this intrigue.
There has, and think about it, Elizabeth, if you go back 15 or 20 years, if we were sitting here talking about UFOs, people would think that we were nutty. Now it's gotten to the level of where it is somewhat accepted because the government has come forward to a certain extent and acknowledged that there are these videos that exist. The Navy has released the videos themselves and said, we're not sure exactly what this is that we're seeing. Of course, what Grush is saying really just sort of takes it to the next level.
Boy, it sure does. It's almost impossible to believe. All right, Brian Ensign, thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to News.
What do you gentlemen think about this? Remember I said that this is now going to become mainstream. They even referred to the woman who was talking. They said that she is mainstream capable. They used the word that this is mainstream capable now. Because this was not mainstream at one time. This is very conspiratorial and crazy land. What do you say about what I'm telling you is that in the next coming weeks, months, years, this topic will be on everyone's lips. That what that guy experienced in his backyard will be lie. It's nothing. And remember how Daniel said he was very dismissive of it? He was like, yo, every time I hear this kind of stuff, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm very like smiley faced and happy right now, only because I have like this thing that I don't know, but well, and I would like to I just want to hear what you guys think. And let me get your phone because I want us to bring up one more thing too. Go ahead. You know what they call this? They call this Don't poo-poo this that we're listening to. Don't poo-poo it away. What do you think, Ulrich? What do you think, Daniel B?
Honestly, doesn't really interest me. I'm more concerned with AI taking over the world like Terminator.
Yeah, I don't. Well, the story does. It's not so much that the story can't have more intrigue or stuff added to it. It's just that this doesn't really have any legs. Doesn't have anything attached to it outside of somebody's account. Also, the News Nation. This is the news. This is part of the Hill, and also this News Nation just picked up Chris Cuomo as the journalist.
How do you spell secretary?
SECRETARY. Right?
I believe you're correct. I think we got the.
I need spell check.
not even the
See?
like,
AI.
spelling in my head, right?
Mm-hmm. You guys know who Vernon von Braun is? Vernon von Braun. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
Vernon von Braun was a guy who was a Nazi, and he was involved in this Operation Paperclip. You ever heard of Operation Paperclip?
No, but I heard of CounterPro.
Operation CounterPro?
Yep.
What is that?
FBI's way of destroying black people. Black
CounterPro.
leader, yeah.
You mean COINTELPRO?
Oh,
COINTELPRO.
Yeah.
He said CounterPro.
It's CounterPro Black. That's what we went
Yeah.
with. But
All right.
no, yes. I mean, again, it's like with Nazis and all this other stuff, it doesn't interest me
Nazis don't interest you?
at all. We're still being persecuted.
Okay. Well, Operation Paperclip was like this. The Germans we used to fly planes that had big propellers in the front of them, right? And we would go into war and we would have big shootouts, World War I, World War II. And the Germans were able to create jet propulsion, and they were so far into the future with jet propulsion. And the rumor is that Hitler found a spacecraft, and they reverse engineered the engine to the spacecraft, and that's how we are able to fly jet propulsion. Jet propulsion is what happened. You see, people might ask themselves, we used to be, why does this thing keep acting crazy? What's going on here? Oh, this thing just got heavier, I guess. It's okay. This is fine. This is fine. So so Hitler was able to supposedly, that's the rumor, reverse engineer jet propulsion. Because a lot of people would ask, listen, man, how is even Germany allowed to be a country still after World War II? Wouldn't most people, when the wars are over, you basically consume that land, so that Germany would never exist? So what happened was, Germany was able to say to the United States of America and say, yo, don't destroy, don't take us off the map, and we're gonna give you jet propulsion. So that's what they did. They gave us Americans jet propulsion, and the way they did it was by giving us Wernher von Braun. Wernher von Braun was the mastermind, the head honcho of this group of men that came from this Nazi regime. They were Nazis. They weren't just scientists. These people were known for going here in America, and there was like 22 of them that came from World War II, and they were Nazis. And what they would do is here's the organization that they started though. They needed to start an organization, right? So they started NASA. NASA was started by Wernher von Braun and his homeboys that were Nazis, and they brought all the paperwork, and they brought the engine, the jet propulsion, and that's how we have the whole entire NASA program. Is because of this.
You say it on the Colbert Report.
You heard this on the Colbert Report.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't never watch the Colbert Report.
No, not the Stephen Colbert, the other Corbett report.
Oh, the Corbett Report.
I
Yeah,
said
the
that
Corbett Report. Yeah,
the
now
Corbett report.
you're gonna learn something.
Yes.
He gonna learn you today. So now, Vonda Van Braun, this is Operation Paperclip. They used to go in the back of the hangars and of the NASA stations, and they were sword fight, and they would wear these big goggles to protect their eyes they would use actual swords, and these guys were sword fighting. They have huge scars on their faces where they have pictures of their skin hanging out, mind you. And then they would be getting like awards and stuff around the whole American crowd. The TV people would be there, and their faces would be all bad and stuff. It's absolutely insane. These guys are rough, tough, hardcore Nazis. And Vonda Van Braun, he dies, right? And when he dies, on his tombstone there was John 1. What was the can you look up Vonda Van Braun's tombstone for me, Daniel B? Sorry, we don't have a producer. Vonda Van Braun's tombstone had something very
what's his name?
interesting. Vernon Von Braun. It's the last thing I just typed up. Vernon Von Braun, the Nazi, Operation Paperclip, jet propulsion. And if you look up his tombstone, because you guys are into that book, so you're going to love this.
No, I won't.
Why not?
It sounds really like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, I can see that. Don't dismiss it, because it sounds like something we've
And
seen
this
in
is
a
all
movie.
allegedly.
What do you mean? Operation Paperclip? The
Mhm.
Nazi? This is not alleged, this is history, Daniel. It's not alleged. This is not conspiracy. This is history.
I mean,
It's
this is
interesting how
story,
people
brother.
in America just can't imagine that. In America, people in America just be like, we would never hire Nazis and have them run and start a whole entire space program.
That. It's just
What is this? What does this right here say on his tombstone?
Psalms 19:1.
Psalms 19:1. Vonda Von Braun. He died in 1977, and on his tombstone reads Psalms 19:1. See that? Can you see that? There we go. Boom. So now, can you go to Psalms 19:1? See what that says?
It says it here, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
And the firmament showeth his handiwork. The guy who ran and started NASA, the space program, says that God shows off his handiwork with the firmament. What is the firmament?
I don't even know what they're referring to.
Do you know what a firmament is? Daniel B., can you tell us
No.
what a firmament is? What is a firmament? No producers, y'all. We gotta do it ourselves. Bring me Black News. Come on, Oric, go like this.
No way.
Come on,
It's
come
just
on,
ridiculous.
come on.
A spear, a worldview as a collection of people. One of the great stars in American golfing firmament. The vault or arc of the sky, heavens, stars twinkled in the firmament, absolute basis.
You see, the Bible talks about the firmament. That's that book you guys like. And in that book, it talks about the firmament. The firmament is referring to the heavens, right? And you look up and you see the heavens, the stars, and they're saying that that is a protection from the earth. Protects the earth. There's a firmament around the earth that protects us for the most part, right?
Okay.
The guy who created NASA,
Okay.
the space program, put it on his tombstone.
Okay.
How God is showing off his handiwork, the firmament.
That
Yeah,
okay?
but someone, yeah, but his interpretation,
Yeah, could be so much. Yeah, that's reaching. That's really reaching.
Ronald Van Braun is reaching when he says that God shows off his handiwork with the firmament.
The connection, because he put it on the tombstone to the God being
Speak
connected
up a
to
little
connect. the connection with the Psalms, what was it,
19:1,
the
yeah.
Psalms 19:1, and the statement because it said that the heavens are protected. That somehow
Go back
that's
to
something to
Google?
do with
I mean,
NASA.
to YouTube.
The Nazi, because anybody can take any word of God and use it and express it in any way, shape, or form.
Well, let me just say this: the guy from NASA basically is saying there's a firmament around the Earth that was created by God. This is what he was saying.
No, he wasn't saying that. The Psalms is saying.
The Psalm is saying
But
that,
yeah, but
and it's on his tombstone.
yeah,
That's the only thing on his tombstone: his name and the Psalm.
yeah.
Okay,
It was
So
date too.
yeah, the date. Yeah, right. Well, so the question is, what is the firmament? What is a firmament? The firmament is something that's over around the earth, protecting it. What is that?
Are you saying that are you saying that's what he believed, that being on the stone, that is saying that that's what he believes NASA to be, the firmament that protects the
No,
earth?
I think he's giving God credit for creating the firmament. And this is the guy who's supposed to be talking about. This is the guy who's creating things to go to. He's creating spaceships, space shuttles. He's creating all kind of stuff for outer space. But
So you're saying he has broached the protection of God. He has broken it over, and he's been able to surpass the protection of God. Therefore, he's more powerful than God. Is that
No,
what?
that's
is
what
that
I'm
what-
saying.
but if-
I like what you're saying, but
No, I'm trying
that's
to
not
say.
what
I'm
I'm
trying
saying.
to. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that possibly the earth is being protected by a firmament, and he's telling the world about the firmament.
Some people, the environmentalists might say it's the ozone layer or something like that.
The
But
ozone layer?
But that's
I know
more
what you're saying.
spiritual.
I know what you're saying.
It's more spiritually
All
like
right.
that. And,
Well, let me go back to where I was at on YouTube, if you don't mind. With the last thing I was just looking at. See, you're not even up on this yet. Come on, I'm helping you. You're welcome.
well,
You're
wait,
welcome.
Nah.
You're welcome.
There's certain things I don't need to know.
You don't need to know where you're at.
No.
Why not?
I'm happy here.
This is my point. Where are you?
no, your connection.
This was created by a person created this place here.
And God created the firmament.
God created the firmament.
That's what the verse says.
Yes, he's like giving props to God. To me.
So did Albert Einstein, who
He gave props.
believed in nothing but science, gave props to God.
In which way?
Read what if you Google the quote that Albert Einstein said about God. Even how
No, not yet.
his-
We can't. Yeah,
But I mean, that's just going to a whole nother tangent. We were just talking about how UFOs will become commonplace.
yes, they will
Now we're
become
in Raiders of the
commonplace.
Lost Ark. But which one
Raiders
was it?
of the Lost
Which was the
Ark
one
didn't have
with the
to do-
Nazis and all of them with the Nazis?
Yeah, they all had Nazis in
But
there.
which is the one where they burned the face because God, they opened the Ark? No. Well, it was supposed to be the Ark of the Covenant. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just, it goes into a whole nother area.
Okay, so now I want you to hear what Vernon von Braun. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Vernon von Braun. Look, there's a thing called The Firmament, a short film. Check that out whenever you get a chance, maybe. I don't know what that is. I just saw
Put
that.
that in the show notes or something.
No, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I can't. Let me. It's interesting what comes up when I look up things and then Daniel B look up things. You know. See, it's like the algorithm pushes you to wherever you're trying to go. There's something for everyone. In other words, you know, whatever belief systems you have. Werner von Braun, the Nazi scientist who built the space program by Robert. You know, there's so much stuff about that. That's old.
Well, what were you trying to find out specifically about Werner von Braun?
I want to show you what he had to say, and it has everything to do with this topic of aliens. Hold this for 1 second, dude. I'm gonna actually just pause for. We're not going anywhere.
Okay,
Give me
pause.
1 second. Yeah, we don't pause when y'all want. Come on. All right, let me just see something. Oh, I can't go to that. I can't go to that here. Let me look up. Let me see. What was it? What did Werner von Braun's secretary have to say about him? See, it was his secretary, which is hearsay. So how much truth could this be? We don't know. But it's very, very interesting what he has to say.
It's hard to communicate it to these people.
These people here are very open-minded. This is the YouTube streets. We are onto something here. I'm telling you that right now in our reality, aliens are gonna be, like you said, I like what you said. They're gonna start legislating alien shit. Aliens will be legislated. What did Vernon von Braun's secretary say? Maybe we try that. It's amazing. It's all part of what's going on right now. That's his daughter right there, not that. It's very short too. How you doing out there? No producers. You see what happens? And then also I am working on a project. I'm opening up my second dispensary. So I am swamped all day trying to get this stuff done. So it's hard for me to make the proper adjustments so that I can bring you the topic. Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna find it in 1 second. What did you type up? What did? I got it. How do you spell Russia?
SS. I think.
IA?
Right? I think so. Or is it U? Yeah.
R-U-S? You said R-I-S-S? R-U-S-S?
Just RUSSIA. Right.
See, they even have a song about this guy.
We got it so kind for the show, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have it here, but let me just paraphrase it. Okay? Vernon von Braun said that the United States of America in around the year 2023 will be having an alien invasion hoax. He said this. Von Braun said that right here, right now, in this timeline, the United States of America will be planning an alien invasion hoax. This was his son. Yeah, it was here. His secretary said that.
The secretary
That's
said
the
that.
only problem, you know. There's no actual wording of him saying that, no memo saying that, but this is what his secretary said. Another thing his secretary said was that the Cold War was 100% a lie, that the United States of America and Russia are best friends and they ain't got no beef. All this stuff is contrived just to keep people afraid and gaslit the whole time and afraid of war and all that. This is what she said he said. There's about 3 other things that she said that he said. But one of the things is that there will be a fake alien invasion. And I think it has a lot to do with what you said. Legislation on aliens and all this alien propaganda crap. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't necessarily believe in aliens and spaceships and all that, but I have what's called a Nikon P900. Anybody know what a Nikon P900 camera is? It's a Nikon P900 camera was for about 10 years one of the best cameras you can buy as far as the zoom lens. You can see up to 4.5 miles. And it's a great camera because you can see the moon, all the craters on the moon. It's a really amazing camera. And when you look up at the sky at Jupiter, it's a lot going on. It's like movement. It almost looks like a freeway going on up there. It's absolutely bizarre what's going on. I've seen that on my Nikon P900. It actually was. It's so crazy that I actually had to stop looking at it. It's like that. It's like freaking bizarre. It's like a highway up. You look up there. It's a freaking highway, dude. They got a lot of things going on there. So is it a fake invasion if there's a lot going on up there? Who knows? But I'm here to tell you that right now, I'm letting you know this is gonna be everywhere. Alien invasion is coming to a neighborhood near you. And that is a fact. Will it be real? I don't know. But according to Vanna Van Braun, it's
According
what,
to his secretary.
yeah, secretary, exactly. Hearsay. But Daniel has a hard time believing he was even a Nazi.
No, I
Dan-
just don't. It's just
Daniel's
there's
like,
so many conspiracies that
that's
go
not a
on.
conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy.
Maybe he
He's
was
a
a Nazi.
fact.
There's a lot of
There's a fact.
There was
It's
a
a
lot
fact.
of Americans that were Nazis. They had one of the biggest Nazi rallies here in New York. That's
Right.
normal. It's
No,
like
no.
saying people are racist. There's a lot of racists.
No, it's true.
Not
It's true.
supposed to be
But let me just tell you this. This is a man that started the NASA program.
Okay.
And he started the NASA program to basically get us that jet propulsion that no one ever. We were using wooden propellers to get around. And the Germans, little ass countries like the Germans, they was on to something.
Well, look at the atom bomb. Here, so it's just like.
What do you mean? Who cares?
No,
I
I'm just
care
saying
about the
here.
atom
I
bomb.
just said here.
The
Like,
Manhattan
they created
Project?
it here. They created it here. Was that by aliens? So it was two different aliens.
I
One
never
went to
said that
Germany?
Vanna Van Braun had anything to do with aliens. What are you talking about?
No, you said with the jet propulsion and
I'm just
they
saying
found
there was a
spaceship.
rumor. There was a rumor that they reverse engineered a ship that they found. Okay, and there's rumors that a lot of this stuff that you see, this is, let me tell you what I could believe from years and years and years of rabbit holes that I've gone into, is that anything that happens as far as like aliens, even though when I look up in the sky and it looks like an airport up there, looks like people are landing and coming back and forth, is something going on? Yes, but I do think that it possibly is interdimensional access, like in the movies when they walk through mirrors and they're in a whole nother reality kind of a thing. I think it could be interdimensional, or I could believe that we're here on Earth, right? This is us, what we know as Earth, Africa, and we have like the whole chart, like in the map when we're kids, they all have it flat. On the school, you see Australia all the way in the corner, and then you see Canada and all that stuff up that way, and then Hawaii and all that kind. I think all that there, okay, that's all what we got. But then it just goes further. We can't get back far enough to see that it goes further and further. It's probably just the same kind of land structure, but it has alternate beings, like aliens, and they come around and they move around interdimensionally and stuff like that. It ain't what we see. What we see ain't what we get.
I can believe that. Like I believe that possibly these things that we see are actually angels, and God put up the sky, and He actually did create the universe. Just saying.
Angels?
Yeah, you never know.
Like Michael, he's just like
flying through. They
Flying
said he
through.
came through. He's
He's
out of breath when he got here. He was like, "Woo!"
Is he smashing Zion's girl?
Good
So that one-
callbacks.
Huh?
Good callbacks.
Yeah, he's Zion. Anyway, so this is Premium Black News, a show where we talk about everything from prayer, from the silent prayer that I suggested from Jesse Lee Peterson, to meditation, and then we evolved that conversation. Where did it go? Where did we go from there? Do you remember?
Went to my Lord and Savior.
No, we will.
No.
Where did our conversation go from there?
I think the first topic we discussed, we were just kind of bouncing off topics, and then we landed
We
on
talked
Zion
about- yeah.
Williamson. We landed on.
No.
and then
What
we
happened
decided-
before Zion Williams?
No, we talked about meditation. We talked about our daily routines, waking up, going to sleep and stuff like that. That was initially what we started with.
Right.
Then we went into, Zion.
Then we went into how people are truly dying from wars that are all fake. Not that the war is fake. People are dying, but the reason to get to the war is a lie.
Yes.
It's like when that kid come over to you in school and be like, "Yo, he was talking about your mother," and that guy in prison, he like, "Yo, that guy right there, he threw a frank at you, and now you got to go kill this guy and do." You only had 3 years in jail, and then you decide to join a gang, and now the gang is telling you that guy right there threw a frank at you, so now you got to go kill him, and now you're in there for 12 more years.
Patsies.
Patsies, man. I'm Big Elvis the Chef Rosenberg at the end of the day,
I'm all right.
Daniel B.
and this is Premium Black News, and you are appreciated. Then you got the
Is that
Black
God is
Fist Power.
peace or God is love?
God is peace. God is love.
Before you
And
die,
the
so
aliens
much-
are black.
Aliens are black.
Yes, they are. My peoples, we good.
That's what liberals want people to think.
The aliens are black.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Aliens